So I said I was going to be live on here, so I'm live on all these different sites except for the only place that won't let me be live right now is my Adorable Deplorable page on Facebook. That's fucking funny. The only place I can't go live is that page. So I'm live everywhere else. Hey guys, if you guys are watching from anywhere else on the planet, I have to remove that one. So
anyone got a problem?
So bear with me, guys. I'm live almost everywhere else. Well, I am live everywhere else. We're just waiting for them to start the debate right now. I don't know why there's no sound. I'm sorry, guys. I always do this in the beginning.
Cut me off.
You cut you off?
I can't get anything. I was trying to share it. And there's just like,
Welcome to Real Fascism, guys. So tonight's the last debates. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So can you guys make sure you guys hear me online right now? Let me know. For some reason, won't let me play on the Adorable Deplorable page. That's really depressing. So now I'm going to have to just do a watch party from the Christopher Drew page to that page. God hates me. Well, God's not liberal, so it's not God that hates me. Oh, look at that. There I am. Yay. So I'm going to do a watch party on the Adorable Deplorable page. So that's how we're going to share it, guys, because clearly they're coming for me. Oh, look, it's me. Look at that. I'm going to do a watch party on the Adorable Deplorable page. How annoying, huh? That's how we're going to share it, guys, because I think it's funny watching myself. Like, I hate it. Like, I hate it.
You don't.
I do. Watching myself?
Yeah.
I can be on camera all day long, but I can't watch it.
Oh.
Facebook does hate me. So, hopefully you guys, it's not messed up. Somebody just commented on TikTok and said, Jesus Christ is coming, so repent. Girl. Calm yourself. We ain't that fucking deep into it yet. So, Facebook hates me. They won't let me go on the Adorable Deplorable page or let me share this on there. So we're doing a watch party on that page. So, you guys can't share this video. It's the debates. I can't wait for them to start. And yeah. So what do you guys think is going to happen during this debate tonight? Do you guys think like something big is going to pop up? Do you think that Trump is going to be throwing him under the bus some way? I heard that there's going to be a special guest there, but I heard it's going to be actually Biden's business partner that worked with him in China on all those deals. So let's see if it gets brought up because I heard that Trump's guest is going to be his business partner. So I'm like nervous. You don't want to give any other media sources the pleasure of watching the network? Well, thank you for watching mine. I'm watching Fox Businesses. So hopefully they don't cut me off. Yeah, he's having a very special guest. You think Trump's going to go after Hunter's corrupt dealings? So I'm going to put some of you guys' comments here on the screen, and let's see if they are what's happening. I hope that some of you guys' predictions are what happened, are what's going to happen. Do what happens. Or how do you I need a drink.
Well, let's go get one.
This is the best comment I think I've received all day. It says Facebook hates you because it's the most truthful one out of all of them. So if you guys here on TikTok are wondering what we're doing, we are doing live commentary. There I am. We're doing live commentary right now on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys want to go see the actual live commentary of the debate itself, go ahead and go over to youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable. You guys can see me there. Otherwise, you guys are going to be here on TikTok just watching my face. So y'all can do that too with the green screen. That's cute and dandy. But on Facebook, they can actually see an American flag behind me and the debate at the same time. So if you guys want to see the entire experience, I want all of you guys to go over to YouTube right now, youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable. We're going to do this and we're going to do it good. Because, bitch, last time it was a shit show, and this time I don't expect any different. So let's get into it. So you guys can still hear me, but you guys can't see me because I don't want to be on camera until it actually starts. But about that. So let's get these debates going. There's still no sound here. There's still no sound here. Come on, y'all. So right now, for all you guys just joining right now, we want to know you guys' predictions of what you guys think is going to happen during this debate. Let's go ahead and see what you guys have to say about this. I want to know what your predictions are right now. We want to hear from the people. We want to hear from you. We don't want to hear just from them only. So let's hear what you guys have to think, what you guys think is going to happen during these debates. Someone said everyone's catching heat for posting about the truth. So many people I know are getting booted or disabled permanently. I know, me too, Jessica. In fact, it happened to one of my very good friends, Lindsay. Lindsay definitely is one of like the biggest truth tellers out there, and Lindsay just lost her platform as well. So it's happening everywhere to everybody. So you guys need to be careful and be sure you guys are on top of you guys' shit because they're coming for all of us. Truth Fairy says, I need a drink too. Girl, that makes two of us. Mute Biden. I like that suggestion, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen because, you know, they're Biden fucking lovers. And lastly, for any of the liberals watching, I want all of my people that are watching that are not liberal, I want you guys to comment down below right now with the reason you are going to be voting red. Just do a brief, quick one sentence. Why are you voting red? I want to hear about it all in the comments right now. I'm going to put some of them up on the screen, but I want to know, why are you guys voting red? Thank you, Michaela. It's really sweet of you. That's not a reason why to vote red, but I will put it up on the screen anyways. I wonder how often they will be muting Trump. I'm sure it's going to be a lot. We all know how these debates work. They're shit shows, and they're going to be doing it. So there's a lot of you guys watching right now on TikTok. There's, in fact, a lot of you guys. So here's the thing. If you guys want to watch my live commentary right now, make sure you guys go to youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable, and you guys can see all about it right then and there. There's a lot of you guys on the TikTok, and all you guys can see on TikTok is a green screen in my face. But if you guys actually want to watch the debates with me and watch my live commentary, go to youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable. So here's some of the reasons why some of you guys will be voting red. I want to know on TikTok as well, why are you guys voting red? I want to know on all your social networks, why are you guys voting red? Somebody said pro-life, ALM, Trump has done so many things for our country. That's true. Michaela so far has one of the best reasons I've seen so far, is she's voting for her children's future, because that's actually why I'm Republican and why I push it so hard, because I do want a child. I don't want to raise a child in all of this. So that's true, and that's that. Oh, this is actually a really good one, too. Somebody says, I want to feel free again. Because I'm free falling. I always wanted to go skydiving. I always want to go skydiving and play that as my song. And somebody said on TikTok, because Trump has done everything he said he would, I'm voting for my son's future. Carrie, that is so good. And somebody said they're voting for Trump because he's a good dancer. I have to beg the differ on that. I don't think Trump's a good dancer at all. I think Trump actually really embarrassed himself, but it made a good meme. I enjoyed it.
Wasn't that what lady said? I love your smile.
Renee Williams Pendleton said voting for freedom. And to legalize freedom. Michaela, that's a good one. Kat says, Trump is a businessman, and I'm tired of cowering to other countries. Hey, mother men, me too. I vote for Trump because fuck a politician. That's why I vote for Trump. I vote for Trump because, again, fuck a politician. Let me put that shit on camera. I vote for Trump because fuck a politician. That's why I vote for Trump. So, I mean, I got my Halloween glass. Somebody said, I'm voting red because I don't want to live in a socialist country. Amen. America will never be a socialist country. And let me repeat that. America will never be a socialist country. Ever. Because we won't let it happen. I'll fight somebody first. Somebody said, that's a good one. Our children are number one. That's true. And somebody says, I like his dance. I mean, we can all do the Trump dance. Do you guys remember the Trump dance? You guys see him dance? He was like, He did a dance. It was kind of good. Tiffany says, I'm voting red because I don't want to live. Oh, Dyer. I'm sorry, Tiffany. Michaela said, I'm tired of Republicans feeling afraid to stand up for themselves. Trump is making the world wake up. He's fighting for us. Michaela, I couldn't agree more. I'm so sick of seeing these fucking Republicans sit down and take it. I'm done. And we are fighting back, and it's time. And I used to be the one that was like, you know what? We need to not be like them. We need to make sure we have peace. We need to not be fighters. That's what makes it so good. That's what makes it so awesome. But that's what makes it making us lose. And that's what I've realized. And now I've been seeing Republicans fight back all across the country. And I got to say, I'm mad at it. I'm mad at it. So any of you Democrats who are like, Republicans are violent. No, that bitch, we're just defending ourselves because you were violent first. Second of all, we're going to keep coming for you. And we're not going to stop because we're going to keep winning. So if that's going to piss you off, then be prepared to be mad another fucking 4 years, bitch. I'm already worried about 2024. I don't know about y'all, but I am, because I already know we got 2020 in the bag. But we need to get 2024 as well, because we need to make sure these Democrats never have our country ever again. Ever again. Michaela says, I miss you, fucker. You're such a good human. That's probably the best thing any friend's ever said to me. I love that. Thank you. I try. Honestly, it's not easy to be a good human. Actually, I'm lying. It's really easy to be a good human. It's actually a lot harder to not be a good human. You have to think of strategical things to like lie and cheat and steal. But I mean, to be a good person, all you gotta simply do is tell the truth all the time and try to just like do what's good for, like, I don't know, kids and people. I don't know, following laws and stuff. It's really not that hard. The Trump boogie. I wish you guys can join in this video because I want everybody to do the Trump boogie with me. So come on, debates. Girl, I don't want to run out of alcohol by then because you know we're going to be drinking. So now I want you guys to tell me, okay, so we're going to do something else. We're going to play a drinking game, but I want you guys to make the rules. So I'm gonna choose 3 different people and 3 different words. So everybody gets to say a word right now in the comments on TikTok and on YouTube and on Periscope and on Facebook. I'm on all of those social networks at once right now. So I want everybody to comment down below with a word that you want to see me drink when they say this word. Go. And I'm going to pick 3 of them.
China. Oh, sorry. I can't go in, so I'm saying China.
So comment down below with one word. And I want to know what word I have to take a drink on whenever they say this word. That probably made no sense, but you get it.
People who produce this great background. We have over 60 of them.
It's back.
And we've had
China's one of them, yep.
in 4 different
Okay, would you
parts
say
of this
China?
country. And thanks to United Airlines, which stepped up to the plate and is providing free of charge air service for our entire crew back and forth from one city to another. And so we really owe United Airlines.
Seen? Ooh.
Now this one sounds funny, but we also
China will be one of them.
owe Anheuser-Busch a great thank you. Not only for their beer, but for what they've done.
Rhonda, that's the best one I've seen so far.
Many, many years.
Can we just mute this
It's a
motherfucker?
little less of a,
I don't even like him.
lift now.
Shut up, Lefty. Oh, wait, don't pause it.
Normally, if we were here with normal times, it'd be 900.
Let's mute this motherfucker for right now. But this is the best one so far. I will do it. When Biden says, oh, come on, man. Come on, man. I will drink to that one. I will drink when Biden says, come on, man. Yes. Come on, man. You ain't black. Come on, man. All right, let's see what these Buffies have to say now.
Crowlin Mooring, I'm
on the left.
Law firm. And tonight at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., the National Press Club is putting on for the 4th time a media filing center. If those of you walk around the campus, you'll see a giant tent out here. And that's where media from all over the world are sitting at tables, watching this on television, and filing their stories.
They ain't watching my version, bitch.
Many, because of the coronavirus, were not able to come here for this. And so the National Press Club has set up a national filing center a media filing center for them. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about this debate.
Can you give me a pen and paper?
And so I want to spend a few minutes telling you what
Anywhere.
the rules are.
Oh, that works.
Because I think
Ooh,
there's been some
yeah, perfect. So we're going to do it on, I'm going to write down.
a statement of what the rules are.
When they say China,
We published
I'll take a
in
drink.
July the rules
And when
for
they
this
say,
debate and the first
come
debate.
on, man.
And they were the same. That the 90 minutes would be
Remind
divided
you, I'll
into
show you.
6
And the third word would be,
with the moderator
Debbie, hi, Debbie.
being able to name the subject matter, the general subject matter of each of those 6 segments.
No.
And the parties agreed that for the first 4 minutes of those 15-minute segments, each of them would, for 2
Yes.
minutes,
That's cool, actually. I like
have
that.
the ability to speak without interruption.
Wednesday Hunter. Okay.
Of any sort. Then after they each spoke for 2 minutes, it was open for open debate. Now, unfortunately, if you happen to watch the first debate, those
What?
rules were not necessarily followed. And so the commission
No, well, maybe, I don't know.
could not put in a new rule. And what we thought we would do
Oh, that's me. I threw that box
was put
over.
in the way to enforce
It pissed me
what
off.
they had agreed to, the original rule, no interruption. So you're going
No
to see
interruption. Let's see how well
I
this
believe the
goes.
first question will be directed to the president, and he will speak for 2 minutes. They have lights. You can't see them. They're looking into their cameras that tell them how much time is left and so forth. And at the end of 2 minutes, the president will stop speaking, and then Mr. Biden's microphone, which has been off for the 2 minutes that the president has been speaking, will come on. And this will happen at the start of each of the 6 sections. There's no other censure.
In short, they're saying that when one of them speaks, the other one's mic will be turned off. Okay, it's just so you guys know. When one of them speaks, the other one's mic will be turned off. That's all you need to know.
We'll learn something about where they are on the issues. Now, this is a very, very important debate for each of these candidates.
Took you a long time to say debate.
Some weeks ago had, according to Nielsen, 78 million people who watched it. Now, that doesn't count people who watched it on C-SPAN or people who had it on their computers or on their iPhone.
Oh, watching it through Chris Martin, bitch.
This debate tonight could reach 100 million people. Now, you're very fortunate. You're sitting on seats that make you part of history. Those people at home are watching to try to learn something about these candidates, to make that important decision as to who they are going to support when they go to the polls if they haven't already done so. So it's not for you to participate by clapping, by standing up.
That's where I come in,
By
bitch.
doing anything that would bring you into this. So please, please don't yell because you're interfering with what those people are seeing.
I don't follow
Now,
rules
there
very well.
also is a rule on masks. It's not only our rule, it's the rule of the city, it's the rule of this university, so that you must wear a mask to come in, and you must
Fuck your
keep
mask,
your
bitch.
mask on. If you remove your mask while you're here, you will be approached.
Come on, man.
And you'll be asked to put it back on. And if you don't put it back on, you'll be asked to leave. And if you won't leave, you'll be escorted to leave, which will cause you some embarrassment and will take time away from the important things that are going on.
Your mother's embarrassing. Real quick, guys, on TikTok, if you guys want to see the live debate with me, live commentary right now, we are live right now on Facebook, on YouTube, on all over every social network, even Periscope. You guys want to find it, go to youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable. Let's get going.
All going to go on at the same time. And you're going to hear a lot of voices that you'll recognize from different networks. So don't be surprised. That'll go on, and then they'll settle down as we go, and moderator comes out and also says some words. So with that, let me introduce
Well, can you get my backpack? It's right over there.
Ken Watson.
Good evening. I join Frank, Janet, and fellow board members, including Yvonne Howe and John Griffin, who are with us tonight, in welcoming you to the 24th presidential debate sponsored and organized by the Commission on Presidential Debates, and the second hosted by Belmont University. As the newest co-chair of the commission, I'm proud to work alongside
All the other leftists.
dedicated board members and a talented staff and crew who, against uphill
Talent? It doesn't take talent.
have built a nonpartisan institution
Really?
since the commission was established in
Nonpartisan?
1987. Our sole mission continues
You mean
to be
anti-Trump?
the holding of debates that serve and inform the American people. Now, please spare me a moment to explain the commission's efforts. Debates have evolved over the past 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
More transparent criteria for qualification of
More
debate
trans what?
participants, the trend toward a single moderator in order to focus greater attention on the candidates, and the allocation of time for different subject areas are but a few of the many changes that have been made. Many of the details for organizing the debates are left to agreement by the candidates themselves. The commission has selected the times and places for debates, the moderators, and the debate formats. Based on experience, these are issues that, if left to the negotiations between the candidates' campaigns are nearly impossible to resolve in a timely manner. In fact, it were protected and at times
It's gonna be loud.
unworkable negotiations on these types of issues that led, in part, to the
It'll be
establishment
loud.
of the commission itself.
Good luck with that.
While there is always drama every 4 years, and this year is no exception, the process has worked.
Has it?
And post-debate
But has it?
research shows that the
But has
American
it?
people have considered these debates an important part of our political process. Debates have also created civic education opportunities for the schools and communities that have hosted them.
Open the front door,
Here
please.
at
My friend's
Belmont,
here.
The university has launched the debate programming series
Alejandro, you never
that
hung out before.
explores issues
First time.
ranging from democracy to social media. The
You
commission
might be at
has
the gate.
augmented
Or
these
he's
voter
parking-
education
right now.
efforts by establishing Debate Watch, which allows participants in all 50 states and Puerto Rico to exchange views on issues raised in debates and to listen respectfully to each other's opinions. Debate
No, he's-
Watch
he's just parked.
2020 will include more than 1 million participants.
What do you look like?
Oh, wait.
Overseas, the commission, in partnership with the National Democratic Institute, has
Ah!
helped organize more than
I thought you were nonpartisan!
candidate debates
Bitch, what?
in 5 countries. Most importantly, in
I thought they were nonpartisan.
emerging
Lying
democracies.
bitch.
This
I'm
initiative
Democratic.
has led to the formation of Debates International,
How many words?
a support network of debate
Great.
organizers
We only have one
from
bottle.
nearly 40
Oh,
countries.
Yeah, it's already like.
I wanted to recognize the Commission's longest standing supporter. For the past 32 years, the Judy and Peter Bloom Kovler Foundation has given its trust to the nonpartisan work of the Commission, and we are deeply grateful for their generous contribution to this year's debates. Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce Dr. Bob Fisher, President of Belmont University. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Frank. How are you? Thank you. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. Tonight's a night to celebrate America, but if you're Belmont, it's a night to just express gratitude and thankfulness for all that's been done
I already had it.
and the opportunities that we've been given. I want to thank the commission
You
for
said
their
extra one.
support. Janet Brown, thank you. Thank you to the co-chairs. Thank you so much. You know, it's one thing to be a partner.
Oh, it's here.
Kind of easy.
Can you let him
It's
in?
amazing.
Oh, yeah. But
When times
front
get
door.
tough, that's when
That's
real
right.
partnerships get formed
Yeah,
and
you
stick.
gotta come on
And
in.
this has been a bonding experience.
Hi, come in.
So thank you
Wanna
so
come
much
sit
to the commission. Thank you to HCA Healthcare.
Who's
They're the
here?
ones that have given you all these tests and have made sure that everybody here tonight.
Is Alejandro?
So
Alejandro, these are women.
their goal was
Women
to
is
make this the
Alejandro.
safest place in America tonight, along with the Secret Service, who I also want to thank, and Metro Police, who I want to thank. All together have made this the safest place in America tonight. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Mayor Cooper, for your support. Thank you, Governor Lee. Thank you to the Nashville Convention and this.
I hate that he's talking like he won something. Like, you didn't win anything, homie. You're just fucking having us do the debate at your fucking house. Like, shut the fuck up and put them on stage already. Damn. This motherfucker's acting like he won an award. He's like, I want to thank all the little people I had to step on to get here. Like, nobody cares.
Has been a complicated and
that?
unusual,
Oh, it's my drink.
to say the least.
So we're gonna drink if they say these words. If they say China, if they say, if Biden says, come on, man. Or if they say Hunter.
And letting them stay overnight last night and through the day today.
You don't have to be on camera, but if you want to be on
I
camera,
was
let me
worried
know.
the students would be complaining about that. Actually, they say they don't want to come back. They have a water park out there and all, but we're going to get them back. But our students have embraced the challenge of living safely together.
No
We
sound.
simply couldn't have done that without them. You're probably wondering who these two people are that are standing here beside me.
We don't care. We really don't give a fuck.
And this is Kendra Turner. They co-chaired the student volunteer group of 250 students who made this thing happen here at Belmont University.
Why do they treat every debate? They act like they won something. All of them always like give these speeches of like, thank you, thank you, thank you. We don't give a fuck about you. Thank you for letting us use the stage. Now get off it so we can put Trump on it. We don't really care what they have to say. I want to hear about Trump's guests that's there in the audience. I want to see Trump's family walk in because it's always iconic. And I want to see Joe I just want to see his face. I just want to see his face because he can't really say anything that makes you like interested because he's not that interesting of a person. Oh yeah, they're walking off stage. Something might happen. Ooh, the Melania? The Melania? Was it? They ain't gonna give them a grand entrance this time? We still have 5 minutes. Really?
4 minutes.
They're never on time though. But they've always been late too. So it's like, you know. Let me see if I can just do that. Application window. There we go. Oh, that's better. Yay. So I don't have to see all this crap. All right, guys, we're still waiting. So until then, let's come up with something else you guys can say. I want you guys to comment down below with why you're voting red. Because I don't think anybody who's watching this is voting blue. And if you are, why? Comment down below with why you're voting red or why you're voting blue. And if you guys are on TikTok, you guys can always go see the whole entire debate, live commentary on youtube.com/theadorabledeplorable or facebook.com/theadorabledeplorable as well. We're all over the internet right now. But if you guys want to just stare at my fucking face in the green screen, that's okay too. You guys can do that. Somebody says the other good one is media. Media and good in the same sentence? What are you talking about? In the past, they picked on minor. In the past, they have picked on presidential minor children. Now Hunter is an adult. He can defend his actions. Hunter is fair game. That's true. That's true. That's very true. I think that we shouldn't be picking on the minor children either. But I think that Hunter is way beyond that when he's funneling money using being a surrogate for his dad. I think that's way beyond the line that shouldn't be crossed. And I think he is fair game as well. Oh,
wait, no,
I said it. So it's okay. Can I say it?
Okay.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
I'll drink anyway, so I don't want to be drunk. And I'll do this because I live in California. Hey.
Reader for this evening's debate is Kristen Welker of NBC News.
Oh, really? We already knew that.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
She's more of an
Thank you so
anti-Trumper
much for
than
being here.
anybody
It
else.
is such an honor for me to moderate this debate tonight, the final debate. I want to welcome the First Family and the First Lady. We're so glad and thankful that you are feeling better. I want to welcome the Biden family, Dr. Jill Biden. Thank you all.
You mean the one
for being
Biden
here
family member?
tonight. We are so excited. We're looking forward to a really robust discussion. And the only thing I would reiterate are the CPD guidelines that when the candidates are talking, please hold any applause or any other reactions, except of course when they walk out. Make sure you cheer and loud and applause so that everyone can hear you. Thank you for having me. This is really the honor of a lifetime. I am going to sit down and just get organized and get settled, and the show will start very soon. Thank you for being here.
You're from NBC. You'll never be organized. That means you have to tell the truth. Uh-oh, it's beginning. Everything's running smooth until this moment. Now look at now everything's like starting to freeze up, slow down. It happens every single time. So by the way, I couldn't go live on my The Adorable Deplorable page. They blocked my access from going live there just for today. 24-hour block. Why? They honestly no explanation yet. So I'm sure when I fight it, I'll get one. But I obviously can't do that right now. But they blocked me for 24 hours. Oh, right now it's still like she's still like sitting there. So this is working, but this isn't. What's that?
Found this vodka.
You found vodka? Yes. Oh yeah, that vodka was a gift from one of my clients. That girl. That's who is it?
There's gin up there too, but
Oh,
I
like,
know. This
Fox News hasn't started yet because none of them have started yet. I'm on Fox Business right now. Hello.
Oh, Yeah. It's like
Whoa.
a lot.
Yeah, service is really bad in this house no matter what. Always, and so I always give everybody the Wi-Fi, but right now I can't give everybody the Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, okay. I'll text you after that, Michaela. Let's see why people are voting red. Okay, guys. So Debbie's voting red because she's tired of her tax dollars supporting undocumented illegal immigrants with welfare, food stamps, and not reporting their full income to the Department of Public Social Services. Now, just so you guys know, Debbie is somebody. She's Hispanic. She lives in LA, so she deals with all the illegals firsthand. She also works for the correctional facilities, so she definitely knows firsthand what it's like to see these people use the system and use everything from not just the welfare system, but I would say the criminal justice system as well. They take advantage of a lot of the systems that we have here in America, but I don't really blame them because the left always entices them with stupid, I would say, presents or like what would you call that? Incentives. That's the word. Incentives. With asking them, like during the coronavirus, for instance, they were giving illegal immigrants $500 a piece. So they were coming here in droves saying, if we go there, we can say we are American or they're on American soil, so they deserve that $500. And it's really crazy to me that we're just giving it away like candy. But we don't have enough money for all of us. Let's see. Kathleen says, thank you, take a drink when they say media because they always are lying. I agree with you, but I can't say take a drink when they say media because unfortunately, we already have the 3 words picked out. It's China, Hunter, and whenever Joe Biden says, come on, man. I don't want to pick 3 words that are completely obvious that they're going to say all the time because I don't want to be wasted by the end of this like last time. Last time was bad, but fun.
The tequila should be for a super money something if somebody donates.
Should we come up with a super one?
No, but I mean if they donate like $1 or like.
Oh, if any of you guys on YouTube specifically do super chat, which is you guys pay money to send a chat, you guys send $5, $10. I appreciate every single time you guys send. But if you guys do a super chat, I have shots of tequila that we will be taking every time I get a super chat. Thanks a lot for that suggestion. Or also on TikTok, when you guys are watching right now, if you guys just want to stare at my face and see the green screen, that's totally okay too. If you guys don't want to watch me do the live commentary, but you guys can still hear it. If you guys send me any gifts here on TikTok as well, we will be doing shots of tequila as well. But it can't be something small like TikTok. You guys have to send me actual gifts like drama queens or like rainbow pukes. You guys on Facebook have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I get it. But it's something that has to do with TikTok. Just ignore it. I know. Rainbow puke is so weird. But if you guys send me anything, you guys will get to see me take more shots. And if you guys get me wasted, then I guess I'll be wasted.
Then you have to clean rainbow.
Then I'll show you my rainbow puke.
You'll be riding on the rainbow.
Come on. It's frozen again.
Oh,
Yes. Look, it's frozen again. Whoa. Like, whoa. What was I doing? Come on. Look at it. It's like frozen again.
scroll up. It's just yeah, it's like the info.
Sorry, guys. We're going to bring it right back right now. Technical issues. Say hi to Alejandro. It's like,
I do want to say a very good evening to both of you. This debate will cover 6
whatever,
major
they're here. They're back.
topics. At the beginning of each section, each candidate will have 2 minutes uninterrupted to answer my first question. The debate commission will then turn on their microphone only when it is their turn to answer, and the commission will turn it off exactly when the 2 minutes have expired. After that, both microphones will remain on, but on behalf of the voters, I'm going to ask you to please speak one at a time. The goal is for you to hear each other and for the American people to hear
I don't care if I'm
every
frozen.
word
I just
of
don't want
what
them to
you
be
both
frozen.
have to say. And so with that, if you're ready, let's start. We will begin with the fight against the coronavirus. President Trump, the first question is for you. The country is heading into a dangerous new phase. More than 40,000 Americans are in the hospital tonight with COVID, including record numbers here in Tennessee. And since the two of you last shared a stage, 16,000 Americans have died from COVID. So please be specific.
Be specific.
How would you leave the country during this next stage?
We both saw the same thing.
2 minutes uninterrupted.
So, as you know, 2.2 million people modeled out were expected to die. We closed up the greatest economy in the world in order to fight this horrible disease that came from China. It's
The
a
plague.
worldwide pandemic.
China.
It's all over
China.
the world. You see the spikes in Europe and
It was the
other
drugs.
places right now. If you notice, the mortality rate is down 85%. The excess mortality rate is way down and much lower than almost any other country. And we're fighting it, and we're fighting it hard. There is a spike. There was a spike in Florida, and it's now gone. There was a very big spike in Texas. It's now gone. There was a very big spike in Arizona. It's now gone. And there are some spikes and surges in other places. They will soon be
Was that
gone.
all red
We
Stacy
have a
just said?
vaccine that's coming. It's ready.
Just saying.
It's going to be announced within weeks, and it's going to be delivered. We have Operation Warp Speed, which is the military is going to distribute the
Like a
vaccine.
faggot.
I can tell you from personal experience that I was in the hospital. I had it, and I got better. And I will tell you that I had something that they gave me, a therapeutic, I guess they would call it. Some people could say it was a cure. But I was in for a short period of time, and I got better very fast, or I wouldn't be here tonight. And now they say I'm immune. Whether it's 4 months or a lifetime, nobody's been able to say that, but I'm immune.
At least we can hear
More
it.
and more people are getting better. We have
Can you check your
a
phone and see if it's
problem
everybody?
that's a
I think it's
worldwide
everybody.
problem. This is a worldwide problem. But I've been
Based on what happened last time?
congratulated by the heads of many countries
Oh, I
on
can.
what we've been able to do. If you take a look at what we've done in terms of goggles and masks and gowns and everything else, and in particular ventilators, we're now making ventilators all over the world, thousands and thousands a month, distributing them all over the world.
Debate.
It will go away.
What's that about?
And as I say, we're rounding the turn, we're rounding the corner. It's going away.
Okay, former Vice President Biden, to you, how would you lead the country out of this crisis? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
I'm interested.
220,000 Americans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, can I get below for 200?
Say tonight. Hear this. Anyone who's responsible for not taking control,
Oh, here we go, bitch.
in fact, not saying I take no responsibility initially. Anyone who's responsible for that many deaths should not remain as President of the United States of America. We're in a situation where there are 1,000 deaths a day.
Because you put them in elderly care
1,000 deaths a
facilities,
day.
you fucking
And
Democrat.
there are over 70,000 new cases.
'Cause it's your
per
fault.
day. Compared to what's going on in Europe, as the New England Medical
Then go to
Journal
Europe,
said, we're
bitch.
starting from a very low rate. We're starting from a very high rate. The expectation is we'll have another 200,000 Americans dead between now and the end of the year.
If you had it your
We
way.
just wore these masks. The president's own advisors.
Where's your mask?
We could save 100,000 lives.
Where's your mask?
And we're in a circumstance where the president thus far is still has
That face he's making right now on that frozen
plan,
screen is a face
no
he always makes.
comprehensive plan. What I would do is make sure we have everyone encouraged to wear a mask all the time. I would make sure we move.
Where's your
testing,
mask
rapid
then, bitch?
testing, testing,
Be the change you want to see,
rapid
dumbass.
testing. I would
Put it
make sure
on. Put it on. Put it
that we
on.
can set up national standards as to how to open up schools and open up businesses so they can.
Do you know how you open up schools? You open them up.
The wherewithal, the financial resources to be able to do that. We're in a situation now where the New England Medical Journal, one of the most serious journals in the whole world, said for
My
the
son
first
does
time
correct.
ever
That's all I
that
hear.
the way this president has responded to this crisis has been absolutely
It's because of
tragic.
him I need to smoke
So,
weed.
folks, I will take care of this. I will end.
You're
this.
the reason I
will
smoke
make
marijuana,
sure we
bitch.
have a plan.
President Trump, I'd like to follow up with you in your comments. You talked about taking a therapeutic. I assume you're referencing Regeneron. You also said a vaccine.
I trust somebody who had it over somebody who didn't have it.
Is
think that was
that
Trump's whole
a
plan.
guarantee?
No, it's not a guarantee.
That was his whole
By the
plan.
end
Smart
of the
move.
year, but I think it has a good chance. There are two companies, I think, within a matter of weeks, and it will be distributed very quickly.
Can you tell us which companies?
Johnson & Johnson is doing very well. Moderna is doing very well. Pfizer is doing very well, and we have numerous others. And then we also have others that we're working on very closely with other countries, in particular Europe.
let me follow up with you, and because this is new information. You have said a vaccine is coming soon, within weeks now. Your own officials say it could take well into 2021 at the earliest for enough Americans to get vaccinated. And even then, they say the country will be wearing masks and distancing into 2022. Is your timeline realistic?
No, I think my timeline is going to be more accurate. I don't know that they're counting on the military the way I do, but we have our generals lined up, one in particular that's the head of logistics. And this is a very easy distribution for him. He's ready to go as soon as we have the vaccine. And we expect to have 100 million vials. As soon as we have the vaccine, he's ready to go.
Vice President Biden, your reaction, and just 40% of Americans say they would definitely agree to take a coronavirus vaccine.
Yeah, it's because like
if
it's freezing on YouTube.
Government. What steps?
It's with my Wi-Fi and stuff on, so I mean, it's just to be people watching it. It's fine. No, bitch, that's where there's a problem. We have someone at least hear it.
Transparent. Have the scientists of the world see it, know it, look at it, go through all the processes. And by the way, this is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter.
You're the same fellow who signed a crime bill, so shut the fuck up.
Don't worry, we're going to end this by the summer. We're about to go into a dark winter. Because
of you.
He has no clear plan, and there's no prospect that there's going to be a vaccine available for the majority of the American people before the middle of next year.
So if you are president, how is there going to be a vaccine
We don't
faster?
have a dark winter at all. We're opening up our country. We've learned and studied and understand the disease. Which
I just got back from fucking Wyoming.
When I closed and
They're all
banned
open.
China from coming in
China,
heavily
drink.
infected,
China.
ultimately Europe. But China was in January.
Oh.
Months later,
China.
he was saying I was xenophobic. I did it too soon. Now he's saying, oh, I should have, moved quicker.
What is this?
But he didn't move quicker. He was months behind me, many months behind me. And frankly, he ran the H1N1 swine flu, and it was a total disaster.
I'll
Far
drink that.
less lethal, but it was a total disaster. Had that had this kind of numbers, 700,000 people would be dead right now. But it was a far less lethal disease. Look, his own person who ran that for him, who, as you know, was
Even my dog.
chief of staff, said
Gagging when you talk about
it was
Biden.
catastrophic. It was horrible. We didn't know what we were doing. Now he comes up and he tells us how to do this. Also, everything that he said about the way every single move that he said we should make, that's what we've done. We've done all of it. But he was way behind us.
Vice President Biden, your response.
I'm so sorry about the freezing, guys. There's too many people on the server. It's even freezing on my other devices as well. It's not just my device. Sorry.
40 countries had already done that. In addition to that, what he did, he made sure that we had 44 people that were in there in China trying to get
China.
the on to
China.
determine what exactly the source was. What did the president say in January?
China means drink,
He
bitches.
said,
If you're at
no,
home,
he
drink
said
when I say China.
He's being
Well, when they
transparent.
say China. Damn. I don't like it when that happens because I at least want to hear it, bitch. Like, I'd rather you not be able to see me.
The president of China is being transparent.
China.
You know,
President of China?
attitude.
They don't have a president, you dumbass.
And then what happened was we started talking
The president of China?
about the Defense Act to make sure we go out and get whatever is needed out there.
At least let Trump get me drunk, not him.
Again, I go back to this. He had nothing. He did virtually nothing. And then he gets out of the hospital and he talks about
After 2 days.
Don't worry. It's all gonna be
That's
over.
important.
Come on. There's not
Come on, man. Ah!
Oh, no, hold on, let me get to
President
drink.
Trump, your reaction?
Say over soon. I
Close,
say
yeah.
we're learning to live.
Close enough.
We have no
Come on,
choice.
man.
We can't lock ourselves up in the basement like Joe does. He has the
Like Joe does? Yeah.
ability to lock
Mute his
himself
mic,
up.
bitch. Why is his mic not muted?
A lot of money someplace.
Yeah.
But
He was laughing,
this
bitch.
Thing about living in a basement. People can't do that. By the way, I, as the president, couldn't do that. I'd love to put myself in the basement in a beautiful room in the White House and go away.
If it was
from
Trump's
there
basement,
after
way
the
prettier than
president.
Biden's.
I can't do that. And Kirsten, every meeting I had, and I'd meet a lot of families, including Gold Star families and military families.
Amen.
Every meeting I had, and I had to meet them. I had to. It would be horrible to have canceled everything. I said, this is dangerous, and you catch it. And I caught it. I learned a lot. Great doctors, great hospitals, and now I recovered. 99.9 of young people recover. 99% of people recover. We have to recover. We can't close up
That's a
our
big
nation.
number.
We have to open our school, and we can't close up our nation, or you're not going to have a nation.
And of course, the CDC has said young people can get sick with COVID-19 and can pass it. Vice President Biden, I want to talk broadly about strategy. though. You
Can
have
I respond to that?
30 seconds, please, and then I have a question.
No, number one, he says that we're learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it. You folks home will have an empty chair at the kitchen table this morning. That man or wife going to bed.
You threaten my family, bitch?
What
Out of
are
habit
you
with their wife
fucking
is gone.
retract?
Learning to live with it. Come on. We're dying with it.
You could be. It could be you
He's never
too.
said, you see, you
It
said,
could be your
But
mama,
you,
bitch.
Could be
when's the
you.
last time? Is
Or
it
next.
really dangerous still?
He just threatened you?
Dangerous?
Like
You tell
threatened
the
you?
people it's dangerous now? What should they do about the danger?
Getting all fired
And
up.
you say, I take no responsibility.
What's happening? With, oh,
Let me
I
talk
was like,
about
what's happening with the
Excuse me,
camera?
I take full responsibility. It's not my fault.
He threatened your
It's
families.
China's fault. And you know what? It's not Joe's fault that it came here either. It's China's fault.
China!
Damn
To the rest of China
Oh, no.
for the most part.
China
But they
again.
didn't keep it from coming out to the world, including Europe
Needs
and
water and
ourselves.
everything now.
Vice President Biden.
Don't start
The
mentioning
fact
Hunter.
is that when we knew it was coming, when it hit, what happened? What did the president say? He said, don't worry. It's going to go away. Be gone by Easter. Don't worry. Warm weather. Don't worry. Maybe inject bleach. He said he was kidding when he said that. A lot of people thought it was serious.
You are
The
stupid.
president has said, even today, he thinks we are in control.
I think you're incompetent.
200,000 more.
Hunter.
100,000 more?
100. I thought he said Hunter.
He's 100,000 more.
Sorry.
I was kidding on that, but just to finish.
But it was
Who
Bro.
said it
Oh,
should
my
be
goodness.
closed? And that went on for months.
Trump hit a brick
Nancy
wall with that
Pelosi
one.
said the same thing. She was dancing on the streets in Chinatown and San
China!
Francisco.
She was
But
dancing
one
on
of
the
the
streets.
times he said, this is a terrible thing. You're xenophobic. I think he called me racist even. And because I was closing it to China. Now he says I should close it earlier. It's just a joke. It
Way
doesn't-
more.
I didn't
That
say
was a
either
bad
of those
one.
things.
You
I
certainly
said
did.
over-
Shut off his mic,
I talked about
bitch.
xenophobia in a different context. It wasn't about
Why? No. Why are you leaving on his mic?
coming to the United States.
All right.
That wasn't part of the plan.
Of your different strategies to handle
He
it.
thought I shouldn't have closed the border.
Well, let's.
That's obvious.
Do you want to respond to that quickly, Vice President?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, why not, bitch? Why not,
We're
bitch?
dealing with this. Mr. Vice President, you suggested you would support new shutdowns if scientists recommended it. What do you say to Americans who are fearful that the cost of shutdowns, the impact on the economy, the higher rates of hunger, depression, domestic and substance abuse outweighs the risk of exposure to the virus?
What I would say is I'm going to shut down the virus, not the country. It's his ineptitude that caused the country
What?
to shut down in large
Let me
part.
say-
Why businesses have gone under, why schools are closed, why
He said, "I shut down the virus, not the
lost
country."
their living,
Really?
and why they're concerned. Those other concerns are real.
A minute ago, he
That's
said,
why
"What about
He
masks?"
should have been, instead of in a sand trap at his golf course, he should have been negotiating with Nancy
A sand
Pelosi
trap,
and
bitch?
the rest of the Democrats and Republicans about what to do about the acts they were passing for billions of dollars to make sure people had the capacity.
You haven't ruled out more shutdowns.
Well, no, I'm not shutting down the net, but there are, look, we
What?
need standard.
What?
The standard is if you have a reproduction rate in a community that's above a certain level, everybody says, slow up. More social
Slow up?
distancing.
Are you shutting down the nation or not? Is all we asked.
Is that
One
the
question.
worst?
You had one question.
Do you get this under control?
Are you shutting down the nation or not?
How do you
But
slow
when
up?
you do open, give the people the capacity.
But when you do open,
to
so shut
open,
down the
have
nation.
capacity.
So you are going to shut down the nation.
For example, schools. They
Don't example nothing,
they
bitch.
need
You just said
more
it.
ventilation
You just
systems.
said
They
it.
need to deal with smaller classes, more teachers.
He does this
more
thing where he
time.
tries like
And
filibuster.
he refused to support that money, or at least up to now.
Let's talk about schools. President
Well,
Trump,
I
you,
think we have to respond if I might.
please, and then I have a follow-up.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. Look, all he does is talk about shutdowns, but forget about him. His Democrat governors, Cuomo and New York. You look at what's going on in California. You look at Pennsylvania, North
I
Carolina.
mean,
Democrats all. They're shut down so tight, and they're dying. They're dying. And he supports all these people. All he talks about is shutdowns. No, we're not going to shut down,
Sure.
and we have to open our schools. And it's like, as an example, I have a young son. He also tested positive. By the time I spoke to the doctor the second time, he was fine. It just went away. Young people, I guess it's their immune system.
Let me follow up with you, President Trump. You've demanded schools open in person and insist.
amen. Bitch. No.
Tune in Tokyo. Come in,
Clap
Tokyo.
on. Clap on.
Come on, Tokyo. Get back in.
Come on.
They can do it safely. But just yesterday, Boston became the latest city to move its public school system entirely online after a coronavirus spike. What is your message to parents who worry that sending their children to school will endanger not only their kids, but also their teachers and families?
I want to open the schools. The transmittal rate to the teachers is very small.
150 people have died that are kids so far in this country due to COVID. 250 in California alone died of the flu this season. All the kids that died of COVID all had compromised immune systems. They're all sick. Every single one.
People are losing their jobs. They're committing suicide. There's depression, alcohol, drugs.
Mainly in San Francisco, of all places.
Never seen before. There's abuse, tremendous.
I mean, I'm abusing this shit.
We have to open our country. You know, I've said it often. The cure
Oh, no, they're in the yellow with that, but they have the highest suicide rate right now.
And that's what's
In
happening.
the whole
And
country.
he wants to close down. He'll close down
By
the
far.
country. If
By like
one
a
person,
number that you can literally like differentiate that between the average of everybody else. You know what I mean? Like it's, the bridges are a thing for sure, but like they're killing each other, like killing themselves on
At the
drugs.
same time. We ought to be able to safely open, but when they need resources to open, you need
Like what?
to be able to, for example, if you're going to open a business, have social distancing within the business. You
Oh,
need to have,
is
if
that
you have a
new?
restaurant, you need to have plexiglass dividers so
Oh,
people
they have that.
cannot infect one another.
In
A
restaurants?
position where you can
They already
take
have
In
that,
restaurants,
Joe.
though.
testing
Joe, they already
rapidly
have
No, but
to
in
know
restaurants.
whether a person is in fact infected. You need to be able to trace. You need to be
I'm a
able to
hairstylist. I have to be really
all
close to
the
somebody.
resources that are needed to do this. And that is not inconsistent with saying that what we're going to make sure.
It's
that it's
inconsistent with you
safe.
saying that you're going to not shut down the nation, but also shut down the nation.
Not that many of you are going to die, so don't worry.
No, officer, don't worry about it. No, officer! Bitch! You said 5 minutes ago, y'all gonna be missing a chair every fucking night at dinner, bitch. Never time out, you ain't gonna die. What'd you say?
And when you talk about plexiglass, these are restaurants that are dying.
Like
These
this.
are businesses with no money. Putting a
But they're both
plexiglass
experts
is
inside at this point,
unbelievably
aren't they?
expensive. And
Like,
it's
even
not
travel a little
the
bit,
outside
like,
when you're gonna sit there and
oh, some
cubicle
plexiglass, what?
wrapped around with plastic. These are businesses that are dying, Joe. You can't do that.
You're
to
lucky Joe's
people.
such an
You
idiot.
just can't. Take a
Because, bitch,
look
I would've
at
called
New
you
York and
out.
what's happened to my
Because Joe's such an
wonderful
idiot,
city.
bitch. I like you more, so
For
it's
so many
okay.
years I left it. It was vibrant. It's dying. Everyone's leaving New York.
Take a look.
California, bitch, we're leaving in droves.
Turning
I just can't
the
afford to
down
leave,
in
otherwise I'd be
terms
gone
of the
too.
number of people dying. And I don't look at this in terms of the way he does. Blue states and red states.
I do,
All
bitch.
the
You don't
United
fucking care.
States.
You're old.
And
You're
look at
dying.
the states.
All of a sudden,
in the coronavirus.
only in blue
They're
states.
Find the
red
virus.
states. They're the
It doesn't
states
matter to
in
him
the
because
West.
it's only blue
It's
states.
in the upper Midwest. That's where the spike is occurring.
And only blue states.
But they're all
Bitch.
Americans. All Americans. And what we have to do
Yeah, we're
is
all
say,
American.
where are these
But we gotta
masks?
point out the common denominators,
Make
homie.
sure we get the help that the businesses need. That has, money's already been passed to do that.
Joe,
It's
get
been
out
out there
first.
since the beginning of the summer.
Ask Pelosi why she won't take the deal.
Listen, New York has lost more than 40,000 people, 11,000 people in nursing homes.
President Trump, what
When you
about
say spike, take a look at what's happening in Pennsylvania, where they've had it closed. Take a look at what's happening with your friend in Michigan, where her husband's the only one allowed to do anything.
And your friend,
It's
bitch.
been like a prison.
Your friend.
Just ruled unconstitutional. Take a look at North Carolina.
That Muslim bitch?
They're having spikes, and they've been closed, and they're getting killed.
I don't like Muslims.
financially.
Everybody knows that
We
about me
can't
already.
let that happen, Joe. You can't let that
I really
happen.
don't. I'm
We
sorry.
have to
I
open
didn't.
up, and we understand the disease. We have to protect our seniors. We have to protect our elderly.
Amen.
We have to protect especially our seniors with heart problems and diabetes problems, and we will protect them. We have the best testing in the world by far. That's why we have so many cases.
Let me follow up with you before we move on to our
Yes.
next section. President Trump, this week you called Dr.
Reality
Anthony
states
Fauci
if you
the
test
nation's
more, you get
best
more
known infectious disease
answers.
expert,
Mhm.
quote, a disaster. You described him and other medical experts as, quote, idiots. If you're not listening to them, are you listening to us
Let me-
fight
I'm
this?
listening
The American
to all of
people.
them, including Anthony. I get along very well with Anthony, but he did say, don't wear masks. He did say, as you know,
mean,
this is not going
Anthony
to be
Fauci?
a problem. I think he's a Democrat, but that's okay. He said,
Of course, Democrat. Come back. Come on. Come on. Bitch, I just wanted to laugh at what you were about to say. We all knew it was going to be interesting. Come on. Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself.
this is not going to be a problem. We are not going to have a problem at all. When Joe says that, I said, Anthony Fauci said, and others, and many others, and I'm not knocking him a lot. Nobody knew. Look, nobody knew what this thing was. Nobody knew where it was coming from, what it was. We've learned a lot. But Anthony said, don't wear masks. Now he wants to wear masks. Anthony also said, if you look back, exact words, here's his exact words. This is no problem. This is going to go away soon. So he's allowed to make mistakes. He happens to be a good person.
Vice President Biden, your response quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next
My
section.
response is that think about what the president knew in January and didn't tell the American people.
We already went over that, bitch. You told him racist, remember? Like, we already went over like, you got a script or what?
Much worse.
You didn't plan for, like, what
He
if?
went on record and said to
We already went over this. Like,
recorded
girl,
in
bye.
fact, he knew
Girl,
how
bye.
dangerous it was,
I got
but he
shit to
didn't
hear
want
from
tell
you.
us.
Nobody cares
He
the fuck
didn't
what
want
you're
to tell us
saying right
because He didn't
now.
want us to panic. He didn't want us to
You told us that he was
Americans
racist because he wanted to shut down China, bitch. Shut up,
Guess
bitch.
what?
Shut up,
In the
bitch.
meantime, we
Shut up,
found out in the
bitch.
New York Times the other day that, in fact, his folks
The New York
went to Wall
Times,
Street
because we
and
believe
said
them
this
these
is a really
days.
dangerous thing. And a memo out of that meeting, not from his administration, but from some of the brokers, said, sell
Oh.
short.
That's just
You gotta
TikTok.
get
It's
moving.
okay. They,
It's a dangerous problem.
You're
this
gonna
is
be
I'm
here.
going to give you
This
30
is what I
seconds
have
to
in-
respond, and then we're
And the
going
Wall
to
Street,
move on.
I don't know, somebody went to Wall Street. You're the one that takes all the money from Wall Street. I don't take it.
I have.
You've raised a lot of money, tremendous amounts of money. And every time you raise money, deals are made. I could raise so much more money as president and as somebody that knows most of those people. I could call the heads of Wall Street, the heads of every company in America. I would blow away every record, but I don't want to do that because it puts me in a bad
I'm a
position.
boss ass bitch.
And then you bring up Wall Street.
Bitch,
You shouldn't be
bitch.
bringing up Wall Street because you're the one that takes the money from Wall Street, not me.
Yeah.
I could blow away your records that like you wouldn't believe. We don't need money. We have plenty of money. In fact, we beat Hillary Clinton with a tiny fraction of the money that she was able.
All right, gentlemen, we're going
Don't
to move
tell me
on.
about Wall
Average
Street.
We're gonna-
contribution, $43.
All right, we're going to move on to our next section, which is national security. And I do want to start with the security of our elections and some breaking news from overnight. Just last night, top intelligence officials
Hunter?
confirmed again that both Russia and Iran are working to influence
I
this
knew about that.
election. Both countries have obtained U.S. voter registration information, these officials say, and Iran sent intimidating messages to Florida voters. This question goes to you, Mr. Vice President. What would you do to put an end to this threat? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Bitch, I'm
I
so
made
sick
it
of them
clear.
fucking
I ask
faces.
everyone else to take the pledge. I made it clear that any country, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. It's been overwhelmingly clear this election, I won't even get into the last one, this election, that Russia has been involved, China has been involved to some degree. And
On your side, though.
Great.
and that
Oh,
Iran
China,
is involved. They will pay a price if I'm elected.
How? When they're in your favor, you fucking idiot.
That's what's going on.
I'm so happy they can still hear me.
American sovereignty. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think the president said
We don't
anything to
have
Putin
knowledge.
about it. I don't think he's talking to him a lot.
It's in your goddamn business where he says a
I don't
Putin about it,
know why
bitch.
he hadn't
You ain't the
said
president.
anything about it. And I don't know what he has recently said, if anything, to the Iranians. My guess is he'd probably be more outspoken with regard to the Iranians. But the point
Oh,
is
now you like that he's outspoken. Now you like it. Oh, but you better come back real quick. I don't. No.
He didn't hear
No, Fox
anything.
Business page. We don't do this shit.
He was playing ostrich with his head in the sand. In his face.
Bitch, I will get mad. And I will
We're in
fuck.
a situation where we have foreign countries
Shut the fuck up.
the outcome of our election. His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, I will. His buddy Rudy Giuliani. He's being used as a Russian.
Bitch, he brought your buddy. Oh!
Did you say
brought
buddy,
it
not buddy?
That is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens. And then you find out that everything that's going on here about Russia is wanting to make sure that I do not get elected the next.
But let's talk about China, bitch.
Because they know I know them, and they know me. I don't understand why this president is unwilling to take on Putin when he's actually paying bounties to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan.
You said you took on Putin last debate, girl.
Activities.
But you also said that they interfered in our election when you was the vice
I
president.
don't know why he doesn't do it.
You was the vice president.
Asking the question.
You was the vice
Why
president.
is that being done?
You was the vice
Any
president.
country interferes
Shut
with us
the-
will in fact
I'll
pay
punch him in his
price
mouth by
because
now.
they're affecting our sovereignty.
Your mother's affecting our sovereignty by having you, bitch.
Let me ask the question. You're going to have 2 minutes to respond. For 2 elections in a row now, there has been substantial interference from foreign adversaries. What would you do in your next term to put an end to this? 2 minutes
Well, let
uninterrupted.
me respond to the first part as Joe answered. Joe got $3.5 million from Russia, and it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow, and it was the mayor of Moscow's wife, and you got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million, and someday you're going to have to explain why did you get 3.5. I never got any money from Russia. I don't get money from Russia. Now, about your thing last night, I knew all about that, and through John Ratcliffe, who's fantastic, he He said, the one thing that's common to both of them, they both want you to lose because there's been nobody tougher than Russia. Between the sanctions, nobody tougher than me on Russia. Between the sanctions, between all of what I've done with NATO, I've got the NATO countries to put up an extra 130 billion going to $420 billion a year. That's to guard against Russia. I sold, while he was selling pillows and sheets, I sold.
Oh, snap.
There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Donald Trump. And I'll tell you, they were so bad. They took over the submarine port. You remember that very well. During your term, during you and Barack Obama, they took over a big part of what should have been Ukraine. You handed it to them, but you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are. But now, with what came out today, it's even worse. All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family. And Joe, you were vice president when some of this was happening, and it should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people. Why is it? Somebody just had a news conference a little while ago who was essentially supposed to work with you and your family, but what he said was damning. And regardless of me, I think you have to clean it up and talk to the American people. Maybe you can do it right now.
Oh.
Clean it up.
And then I do want to follow up on the election security.
Come on, Hunter.
I've not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life.
Liar!
Lie.
Paid 50 times the tax in China as a secret
China,
bank account
drink.
with China.
China,
Does
drink.
business in China.
China drink.
Oh, no, bitch. No, bitch. I want to hear this explanation. We want to hear the bullshit. We want to hear the lies. Come on.
Drink, they cut us off.
I must be real mad. Whew.
Retract.
So get on the phone.
And in fact, is talking about me taking money.
Bitch, you take money every day.
Money from any country whatsoever, ever. Number one. Number two, this is a president. I have released all of my tax
Ever.
returns. 22 years. Go look at them. 22
Tax
years.
returns.
You have
Bitch, you're using my money against China. You want to worry about his tax returns for his private business.
Why are
You idiot.
Foreign countries
not comparable.
are paying you a lot. Russia's paying you a lot. China's paying you a lot.
China.
And your hotels and all your businesses all around the country, all around the world. And China's building
You can't-
a road to a new
I hate taking these breaks from home.
I think we should just
So
not quit
what's
China.
going on here? Why
Yeah.
don't you release your tax return or stop talking about the
Why don't you release Hunter Biden's fucking emails?
I called my accountants, under audit. I'm going to release them as soon as we can. I want to do it, and it'll show how
Bring him, Hunter.
successful, how
Bring him,
great
Hunter.
this
God, please.
company is. But
Hunter.
much more importantly than that, people were saying $750. I asked them a week ago, I said, what did I pay? They said, sir, you prepaid tens of millions of dollars. I prepaid my tax. Tens over the last number of years. Tens
I don't
of
even
millions
care.
of dollars. I prepaid.
That's your own private life,
Because at
bitch.
some
Have
point they
it.
think
Tell
it's
me
an
about
estimate.
Hunter.
They think
Let's talk
I
about
have to
Hunter.
pay tax.
I
So
don't give a
I already
fuck,
prepaid
Trump.
it. Nobody told me that.
Trump, nobody cares about your personal life, girl. Go away.
And it wasn't written. Whenever they write this, they think
You don't
it's
owe them an
about
explanation.
$150, which I think is a
Sorry,
fine.
dumbass Americans make you feel like you have to explain this, but you don't have to.
Prepaid millions and millions
We don't
of dollars
care.
in taxes.
Bitch, we don't
Number
care.
one. Number two,
We don't
they don't make
care.
money
that
from
was
China.
under-
Don't bring my taxes on TV, bitch. I won't bring yours. I don't care.
He was
I don't
vice
make money
president.
from Russia.
We don't care about your taxes.
You made $3.5 million, Joe, and your son gave you.
Woo! Say it. Say Hunter. Say Hunter.
The big
Say
man.
Hunter.
You're the big man.
The big man.
I don't know. Maybe you're not. But you're
Maybe
the
you're not.
So you have to give 10% to the big man. Joe, what's that all about? It's terrible.
All right, gentlemen, I want to ask you both some
No, bitch.
I'm going to let you
We want to know what it's about, you CBS fucking. Ugh.
releasing your taxes. Does it tell
I
you
hate
when you
her.
release them? Do you
As
have
soon
a
as the audit
deadline?
She made it about taxes again.
I get ready-
Bitch, he just said about Hunter. Aren't you interested? You're a reporter. You're a reporter, right?
Because I have a lot of people in there deep down in the IRS.
That's why I
they
need
treat me
them.
horribly. We made a deal. It was all settled until I decided to run for president. I get treated very badly by
We know. Ah!
No.
the IRS, very unfairly. But we had a deal all done. As soon as we're completed with the deal, I want to release it. But I have paid millions and millions of dollars, and
Bring him,
it's
Hunter, bring
worse
him,
than
Hunter.
paying. I paid in advance. It's called.
We don't
prepaid
care.
I paid in advance.
I want to ask you both about questions regarding.
She took it away from the Hunter Biden thing. That's what she did.
Entitlements and questions
That was
have been
clear.
raised.
Clear as day, bitch.
To talk about this more broadly, respond very quickly, and then I'll get to my question.
Why did he's been saying this for 4 years? Show us. Just show
He
us.
made it more about taxes. Bring it back to Hunter, baby. Bring it back to Hunter, Trump. Trump, bring it back to Hunter. Don't let him win right now.
Is you're not paying your taxes.
You're not paying attention, America.
Taxes that are so low. When last
They're literally
time he
taking
said
tax. You see how they did that?
he said,
They literally
"Oh,
drug
I
it to
pay that
taxes.
because I'm smart."
Bring
I
up
know
Hunter.
the
Bring up
pay
Hunter. It
system.
was about Hunter Biden.
So
It wasn't about you.
Two questions to both of you.
Jesus
I was put through a phony witch hunt
Bring it back, Trump.
for
Stop.
3 years.
We get
It
that.
started before I even got elected.
America's on her
They
side.
spied
You
my
don't need to
campaign.
convince her.
No president.
This is
should
the only thing I don't
ever
like
have
about
to
him.
go through what
So
I
notice
went
he's just
through.
like, you know,
Let me just say this.
Stop taking the bait.
Mueller and 18 angry Democrats and FBI agents all over the place spent $48 million. They went through everything I had, including my tax returns, and they found absolutely no pollution.
Amen, bitch.
nothing
That's
wrong.
true. Fact.
48 million.
They were spying
I
already,
guarantee
bitch.
if
Why
I
do they
spent
need New York
$1
taxes
million,
now?
I could find plenty wrong because
All
the
right.
kind of things
Joe already was
you've done
spying.
and the kind of monies that your family has taken. I mean, your brother made money in Iraq,
Let me-
millions of dollars. Your other brother made a fortune, and it's all through you, Joe. And they say you get some of it, and you do live very well. You have houses all over the place. You live very well.
All right, gentlemen, let me just ask some questions about all of this broadly. Vice President Biden, there have been questions.
I wish someone would walk over there and punch him in the fucking mouth.
And
Like, seriously, I'd vote for him even harder.
Vice President, in retrospect,
Let's walk over there and
was
fucking punch
anything
him.
about those
Hard.
relationships inappropriate or unethical?
Nothing was unethical. Here's what the deal.
Your son is a crackhead.
We had this whole question about whether or not, because he was on the board, I later learned Burisma,
You bring it up. No!
a company, that somehow I had done something wrong. Yet every single solitary person, when he was going through his impeachment, testifying under oath who worked for him, said, I did my job impeccably. I carried out U.S. policy. Not one single solitary.
But what was you
thing
getting from
was out of
Hunter?
line. Not a single thing. Number one.
You
Number
said
two,
already that you told the guy
trouble
to fire the
with
guy.
me was this guy trying to bribe the Ukrainian government to say something negative about me, which they would not do and did not do because it never, ever, ever happened. My son has
Assassinate
not
him.
made money.
Retract.
in terms of this thing.
Retract.
What are you talking
It's
about?
just it's
China.
never
I
China.
have not had it. The only guy that made money from China is
China.
this guy. He's the only one. Nobody else has made money from China.
Shows me
China.
chat.
They don't do it.
Let me ask
Even the haters can't believe that.
China
Just
again.
one thing.
very quickly.
His son
I can't anymore. I'll be too
didn't have a
done.
job for a long time, was sadly no longer in the military service. I won't get into that.
He got kicked out for smoking crack.
As soon as he became vice president, Burisma, not the best reputation in the world. I hear they paid him $183,000 a month. Listen to this, $183,000, and they gave him a $3 million upfront payment,
All right.
and he had no.
No, right, me,
Can
bitch.
I respond to that quickly, and then I need to get to a question to you. Very
Oh,
quickly.
really, NBC. Why don't you get up there and suck Joe Biden's dick, bitch?
It was wrong in Ukraine.
Okay, President Trump, this
You won't
is
remember
since
anyways.
you took office. You've never divested from your business. You've personally promoted your properties abroad. The
And
report this week, which was referenced, does indicate.
so I was going to put a real estate agent and make him a motherfucking president, bitch.
So how can voters know that you don't have any foreign conflicts of interest?
I have many bank accounts, and they're all listed.
He
and they're
doesn't
all
get
over the
paid.
place.
'Cause he doesn't get paid, that's how we know.
Businessman doing
Bitch.
business. The bank account you're referring to, which is everybody knows about it, it's listed. The bank account was in 2013. That's what it was. It was open to do. It was closed in 2015.
This
I
ain't
believe.
important.
And then
Before
I
he was
decided
president.
because
They
I
keep
was
making it all
going to
about
do
that.
I was thinking
Stop
about
making it
doing
all about
in
that.
China like millions of other people. I was thinking about it, and I decided I'm not going to do it.
Trump,
Like
this
it,
where you
I
need to grab your
decided
balls a
not
little more,
to do
man.
it.
You're learning
Had an
the
account
bitch, grab your balls.
And I closed it.
Okay.
It's your
Excuse
country,
me.
not theirs.
And then,
Don't forget.
unlike him, where he's vice president and he does business, I then decided to run for president after that. That was before. So I closed it before I even ran for president,
Yeah.
let
So
alone
that's
became
not an
president.
issue.
Fact.
Big difference. He is the vice president of the United States, and his son, his brother, and his other brother are getting rich. They're like a vacuum cleaner. They're sucking
Okay,
up money.
President Trump,
Everybody's
thank you. We do need
Not
to
true.
move on. I do want to.
It is true, bitch.
Why is this microphone not off?
Let's talk about
It hasn't been
China
off all night,
more
if you know Tom.
There
They've been-
has,
all night
of
long he's
course,
been able to respond, but not
President
Trump.
has said that they should pay for not being fully transparent in regards to the coronavirus. If you were president, would you make
If you live in
China
California,
pay?
do this at
And
home.
please
If you
be
don't,
specific,
sorry,
what
goes
would that
legal.
look like?
What I'd make China do is
China
play by
again.
the international rules, not like he has done. He has caused the deficit of China to go up,
China.
not down, with China.
Oh my god.
It's a bit lot.
We are making sure that in order to do business in China, you have
Oh my God.
to all your intellectual property. You have to have a partner in China. It's 51%. We would not do that.
Stop!
Number one. Number two, we're in a situation where China would have.
Oh my god, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I'll die.
When I met
I'll die.
with Xi,
I can't. I really can't.
Still vice
You
president,
wanna try?
he said we're setting up air.
I can't. You gotta drink every time I say China. Fill up this glass. I'm done.
You can't fly.
I have somebody step
So
in
we're
for
gonna
me.
fly through. We just flew
I can only feel it.
52
I'll record.
B-1 bombers through it. You're not going to pay attention. They have to play
Oh,
by
I
the
keep
rules.
forgetting that.
What's she doing? She embraces guys
You already got
like
one.
the thugs like in North Korea. And
Thugs like what? Black people when you call them
Chinese
thugs?
president.
Or are the North Koreans now like black people? Because you called those thugs too.
All of our allies. We make up we're at 25%. 25% of the world's economy. We need
You already
to
have one. I hate when this happens, but can the rest of America stop watching because I can watch and do live
having the
commentary?
rest of our friends with us saying to China, these
China-
are rules. You play by them or you're going to pay the price for not paying by them economically. That's the way I will run it. And that's what we did in upholding steel tariffs and a range of other things.
Well, it wasn't working when you were vice president,
All right,
dumbass.
let's talk about North Korea. Let's
You don't have to
yes.
respond to that.
Okay, very quickly, and then we're
Son
going to move
walked
on
out
to
with
North
$1.5 billion
Korea.
from China to the United States after spending 10 minutes in office and being in Air Force Two. Number one.
Air Force not Air Force
There's a
One.
very strong email talking about your family wanting to make $10 million a year for introductions.
President Trump on China policy, though.
China-
What specifically are you going to do? What specifically are you going to do to make China pay? You said
China-
First of all,
China.
China is paying. They're paying
China.
billions and
Two.
billions of dollars. I just gave
New
$28 billion.
sanctions? New sanctions?
I just gave $28 billion to our farmers.
Taxpayers'
China,
money.
You did.
China.
Is what?
Taxpayers' money.
Why did his mic turn off? Turn that fucking mic off, bitch!
$28 billion. And
Why
you know what
was
they did to pay it?
Trump call
They
him out?
devalued their currency and they also paid up. And you know who got the money? Our farmers, our great farmers, because they were targeted. You never charged them anything. Also, I charged them 25% on dumped steel because they were killing our steel industry. We were not going to have a steel industry.
Okay,
And now we have a steel
okay.
industry.
Vice President Biden, your response, please.
My response is, look, this isn't about, there's a reason why he's bringing up all this.
Stuttering bitch.
There's a reason. He doesn't want to talk about the
Oh, well, I'm off Periscope,
It's
bitch.
not about his family, my family.
Every single time I'm live, bitch, one of them gets killed
Your
off. I'm
family's
cut off
pretty
Periscope
bad.
now.
If you're making less than, if you're a middle
Oh, it
class
did. Look at
family, you're
Periscope.
getting
Then-
hurt
then come out.
badly right now. You're sitting at the kitchen table this morning deciding, well, we can't get new tires for the ball because we have to wait another month or so. Or are we going to be able to pay the mortgage?
Only in blue states.
She can't go back to community college. They're the
Come here,
decisions.
come here, shut up,
One
dude.
less mouth to feed because somebody's going to be dead this morning.
Right, I thought somebody was gonna be dead, bitch. We'll have one last mouth to
Talking about
feed.
their families, but that's a
One
lie.
less person pay for college, bitch.
I want
That
to
is a
I want to
typical
talk about
statement.
North Korea.
Excuse me,
I
just
do
for
want
one
to turn
second,
to
please.
10 seconds, Mr. President.
That's a
10 seconds.
typical political statement. Let's get off this China thing, and then he
China?
looks the family around the
China.
table. Everything. Just a typical politician when I see that.
Let's talk
I'm
about
not a
North
typical
Korea.
politician.
Okay.
That's why I got elected.
Let's talk
Let's
about-
get off the subject of China. Let's talk
China.
about sitting around the table.
All right.
Come on, Joe.
He's not a typical politician. I vote for Trump because fuck a politician, bitch. That's why I vote for Trump.
3 times. You've talked about your beautiful letters with him. You've touted the fact that there hasn't been a war or a long-range missile test.
There
And that
hasn't
North
been.
Korea recently rolled out its biggest ever intercontinental ballistic missile and continues to develop its nuclear arsenal. Do you see that as a betrayal of the relationship you
No.
forged? Just 30
No.
seconds here because we need to get on to the next.
So when I met with Barack Obama, we sat in the White House right at the beginning, had a great conversation. It was supposed to be 15
You know who that is,
minutes.
right?
It was
That
well
guy with
over
the
an hour.
skin.
He said the biggest problem we have with North Korea.
That skin was gonna
He
take somebody.
indicated we will be in a war with North Korea. Guess what? It would be a nuclear war. And he does have plenty of nuclear capability. In the meantime, I have a very good
I'd
relationship.
rather be his
with
friend though than his enemy.
different kind of a
I don't know about
guy.
you. I don't know about you,
Something
bitch.
about me. We have a different kind of a relationship. We have a very good relationship, and there's no war. And you know, about 2 months ago, he broke into a certain area. They said, "Oh, there's going to be trouble." I said, "No, they're not, because he's not going to do that." And I was right. Look, instead of
Because
being
someone
in a
called his
war,
ass and was like,
millions
"Hey,
of people's
buddy,
soul, you
that
know,
guy,
is
calm
25
down."
miles away. Millions and millions, 32 million people in Seoul. Millions of people would be
Okay.
dead right now.
President
We
Trump,
don't have a
that's
war,
30
and I have a
seconds.
good
Thank you.
relationship.
Vice President.
Oh, bitch ain't interested. Bitch ain't interested in how we're not gonna go to war, bitch.
Why do you think you would be able to read in this?
I bet you think Black Lives Matter too, don't you?
We're making clear to China. I had to be
Fucking racist bitch.
Seriously, I made it clear, and as a spokesperson of the administration, when I went to China, I said, "Why are you moving your missile defense up
Do I so
close?
hard?
Why are you
I
moving
was so
more
drunk.
forces?
I'm already
Why are
drunk.
you continue to do
Are you drunk yet?
um,
I'm already there.
military maneuvers with South
Pretty
Korea?" I said, "Because North Korea is a problem, and we're going to continue to do it so we can control them. We're going to make sure we can
Yeah.
control them.
Because you control them so well,
They cannot
bitch.
hurt us.
Because when you were president, you looked at binoculars.
Step up and
He
help
walked
us.
up in the garden with the fool.
Continue. What has he done? He's
You ain't got shit to
legitimized
say.
North Korea.
You ain't got shit to say.
Good buddy.
Nobody's listening to you. I'm so happy that my voice is louder than yours during this time, during my fucking feed.
Much more
Fuck
capable
you.
system.
Nobody fucking.
Able
What
to
he's saying
defend
isn't even
US
worth hearing.
territory much more easily than ever did before.
Let me follow up with you, Vice President Biden. You've said you wouldn't meet with Kim Jong-un without preconditions. Are there any conditions under which you would meet with him?
On the condition that he would agree.
Amen, Maddie. You are completely right on that,
Down
actually.
his nuclear capacity to get the Korean Peninsula should be nuclear-free zone.
All right, let's move on to American families.
They tried
Very
to meet
quickly,
with
10
him.
seconds,
They
President.
tried.
Bitch, I don't like all this buffering shit. Like, this is gonna be a problem. Like, I'm gonna fight these people. Kat, isn't that funny how they're not muting the mic?
Oh, that's right.
They didn't mute nobody's. Well, they be
They tried to
muting.
meet with him.
This
He
person
wouldn't
actually,
do
Trump
it.
actually
He
interrupted.
didn't like Obama. He didn't like him. He wouldn't do it.
Okay, I got to give him a
They
chance to
tried.
respond to that
He
before we
wouldn't
move
do
on.
it.
You
And
know,
that's okay. You know what? North Korea, we're not in a war. We have a good relationship. You know, people don't understand. Having a good
President
relationship
Trump,
with
we have to
leaders
move
of other
on, 'cause
countries
we have a
is a
lot of
good
countries.
thing.
We have a lot.
Amen, bitch.
we had a good relationship with Hitler
Me?
before he, in fact, invaded Europe.
No.
The rest of Europe. Come on.
Bitch butt.
Come on,
He
man.
would not meet with
You say
President Obama
He said-
because President
He
Obama
didn't say
said,
man.
we're
he
going to
said
talk
come
about denuclearization. We're not going to legitimize you, and we're going to continue to put stronger and stronger sanctions on you.
in a second.
That's why he wouldn't meet with us.
All right,
And it
let's
didn't
move
happen.
on. Let's move
Excuse
on
me.
and talk
He
about
left
American
me a
families.
mess, Kristen.
President Trump. Okay, we
They
need to move
left
on.
me a mess. North Korea was a mess.
We
And
need
in
to
fact,
move
if
on
you
so that
remember
we
the
can
first
get to all
2 or
of our
3
other
months,
questions tonight.
there was a very dangerous period.
Shut the fuck up,
first 3
NBC,
months
bitch.
Before we sort of worked things out a little bit.
Okay.
There was a very they left us a mess. And Obama would be, I think,
It was
the
a
first
shit
to
show.
say it was the single biggest problem he thought that our country.
Okay, let's move on to American families and the economy. One of the
Because
issues
war
that's
and death
most
is not important.
to them is healthcare, as you both know. Today there was a key vote, and
I
it was
wanna
Supreme
punch
Court
that bitch.
Justice Amy Coney
Your hair's
Barrett,
fake, we
and
can tell.
Healthcare is at the center of her confirmation fight. Over
Ugly
20
bitch.
million Americans get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. It's headed to the Supreme Court, and your administration, Mr. President, is advocating for the court to overturn it.
Yeah.
If the
course.
Supreme Court does overturn that law, those 20 million Americans could lose their health insurance almost
she said
overnight. So
anything
what would you
negative to
do
Biden?
if those
No.
people have their health insurance taken away? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
First of all, I've already done something that nobody thought was possible. Through the legislature, I terminated the individual mandate.
Girl,
That is
that's
the
what they do.
worst
Like,
part of Obamacare, as we call
that's
it.
why we have to
The
keep Trump as
individual
president.
mandate where you have to pay a fortune for
It
the
is.
privilege of not having to pay for bad health insurance. I terminated. It's
Oh, yeah,
done.
that too.
Now it's in court
No, that's when
because Obamacare is no good.
I'm not-
But then I made a decision: run it as well as you can to my people, great people. Run it
At
as
least y'all
well
can
as
hear
you
it,
can.
okay.
I could have gone the other route and made everybody very unhappy.
Froze.
They ran it.
I know it does.
Premiums are down.
And that's
everything's
everywhere.
down.
So when I
Here's
first
the
started to
problem.
hear it, it
No
froze
matter
me.
how well you run it, it's no good.
So
What
if
we'd
anybody's
like to
watching
do
this sees
is
that too. That's why it's still
terminate
hear it.
We have the individual mandate done.
If it was
I
my,
don't
if
know
it was
that
the
it's
Wi-Fi,
gonna
it
work.
does sound
If we
well
don't
too,
win,
or a little
we'll
bit more
have to
PC.
run it, and
But the
we'll
reason
have
why it's not is
Obamacare,
because
but it'll be better
it's just
run.
two people
But
on
it no
server,
longer
so there's
is
only one server on
Obamacare,
YouTube because
without
they're not airing it on the
mandate,
channels, they're only
it's
airing
much
on
different.
YouTube tonight.
Pre-existing
Otherwise,
conditions
Fox is the only
will
channel
overstay.
that's they're
What
going
I
to
would
air
like
it
to
live.
do is
Otherwise,
a much
no
better
channel airing it,
healthcare,
but
much
they're all
better.
airing it live on YouTube.
Will always protect
Only
people with
YouTube.
pre-existing. So I'd like to terminate Obamacare, come up
Right,
with
right.
a
So they
brand new,
get most
beautiful
people on YouTube.
healthcare.
So when the
The
servers get
Democrats
overdone on
will do it
YouTube
because
because of
there'll be
this.
tremendous pressure on them, and we might even have the House by that time. And I think we're going to win the House. Okay, you'll see. But I think
I
we're
would
gonna
be
win the
really
House.
happy,
But
Trump.
come
Don't
up
lie
with
to me,
better
bitch.
healthcare.
Don't
Always
get me
protect
excited,
the
bitch,
people
because I mean, I'm real
with
happy.
pre-existing conditions. And one thing very important, we have 100.
No, that, ain't no room for that. Ain't no room for that. Ain't no room for that. No.
$80 million people out there that have great private health care, far more than we're talking about with Obamacare. Joe Biden is going to terminate all of those policies. These are people that love their health care, people that have been successful, middle income people, been successful. They have 180 million plans, 180 million people, families, under what he wants to do, which will basically be socialized medicine. He won't
Is
even
it
have a
under?
choice.
Is it
They
under?
want to terminate 180 million plans.
Yeah, you
We
do.
have done an incredible job on healthcare, and we're going to do even better.
Okay,
Let me
Vice
respond.
President Biden, yes, this is for you. Your healthcare plan calls for building on Obamacare.
10 million Americans won't be covered in his health care
If the
plan,
laws
according
were
to Kamala
unconstitutional
Harris.
by the Supreme Court, you have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
What I'm going to do is pass Obamacare with a public option.
Oh,
Become Biden care. Public option.
go Biden care.
For children.
Biden care for children.
Instead of Obamacare.
Wherewithal in your state to get Medicaid, you automatically
Oh, Biden.
providing competition for insurance companies. That's what's going to happen.
Obama, do you want his
We're
name
gonna
on
make
it,
sure we
bitch?
reduce the premiums and reduce drug prices by making
You know the biggest joke?
sure that there's
Him.
competition that doesn't exist now by allowing the Medicare to negotiate drug prices with the
Biden care. I'm hungry. Is
He's
that?
going to lose it.
The idea that I want to eliminate
I'm gonna grab a
private
piece of pizza,
insurance,
bitch. I
the
keep freezing
reason why I had
anyways.
such a fight
Whatever.
for with 20 candidates for the nomination was I
I
support
one piece.
private insurance. That's why I did not one single person in private insurance would lose their insurance under my plan, nor did they under Obamacare. They did not lose their insurance unless they chose they wanted to go to something else. Lastly, we're going to make sure we're in a situation that we actually protect pre-existing. There's no way he can protect pre-existing conditions. None. Zero. You can't do it in the ether.
Really?
He's been talking about this for a long time. There is no, he's never.
So he just admitted, you guys, he's gonna do nothing for pre-existing conditions. He just admitted. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
17, 18, 19, and 20. The fact, I still have a few more minutes. I know you're getting anxious. The fact is that he's already cost the American people, because of his terrible handling of the COVID virus and the economic spillover, 10 million people have lost their
Look at your
private
notes,
insurance.
Joe.
And he wants to take away 22 million more people who have
I'm glad the froze are there.
and over 110 million people with pre-existing conditions. And all the people from COVID are going to have pre-existing conditions. What are they going to do?
What?
Follow up for you, Vice President Biden. It relates
It
to
develops a
something
pre-existing
that
condition?
President Trump said. He's accusing you of wanting socialized medicine. What do you say to people who have concerns that your health care plan, which includes a government insurance option, takes the country one step closer
So wait,
to a
it's gonna
healthcare
develop
system run
pre-existing
and carried
conditions?
by the government?
I
What's your
say
response?
it's ridiculous. It's like saying that, we're the idea that the fact that there's a public option that people can choose, that makes it a socialist plan. Look, the difference between the president, I think healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right. Everyone should have the right to have affordable healthcare. And I am very
You pay for
proud
it.
of my plan. It's gotten endorsed by all the major labor unions, as well as
Name one.
Name
a
one.
whole range of other people who in fact are concerned in the
I
medical
can't
field.
remember.
This is something that's going to save people's lives.
As well as
This is
people
gonna
are
be something-
concerned in the
an
medical field.
opportunity- An opportunity to have health care for their children.
It's gonna
How
mess
many of
up
you home are
inside.
worried, rolling around in bed tonight, wondering?
Stop preying on the weak, bitch. You keep.
Get sick
He keeps looking at the camera, saying the weak, this week, that week, bitch. Fuck you.
We have to provide health insurance.
Really hurting because Democrats.
At an affordable rate. That's what
It's only in blue states that bitch. We
President
can
Trump
only blue states to answer your question, bitch.
47 years. He didn't do it. He was now there as vice president for 8 years, and it's not like it was 25 years ago. It was 3 3/4. It was just a little while ago, right? Less than 4 years ago. He didn't do anything.
Yep.
He didn't do it. He wants socialized medicine, and it's not that he wants it. His vice president, I mean, she is more than Bernie Sanders and wants it even more. Bernie Sanders wants it. The Democrats want it. You're going to have socialized medicine, just like you want it with fracking. We're not going to have fracking. We're going to stop fracking.
Yes! I'm gonna make that TikTok. We're not going to have
We're
fracking.
very lucky to get it.
What?
He goes to Pennsylvania, and he says,
That will be at 2:00 in the morning.
and you never ask that question. And by the way, so far, I respect very much the way you're handling this. I have to say.
By the way,
But somebody should ask the question.
you can
He,
ask.
he goes for a year.
It's cutting
There will
in.
be
We have
no
a,
fracking,
we have,
there
we
will
do
be
have a
no
number of,
control.
we have a number of topics.
No,
we're
no,
gonna
but
get
that's a
to.
big-
We
that's a
have-
big question.
We're gonna get to, we're gonna get to.
It's the same thing with socialized
I have to
medicine.
Vice
respond.
President, your response, please.
My response is people deserve to have affordable health care, period. Period,
You
period.
do.
And the
Medical.
Medicare proposal will in fact provide
Free.
for that affordable health care, lower premiums. What we're going to do is going to cost some money. It's going to cost over $750 billion over 10 years to do.
There's no such thing as no
And
health
we
care.
have lower
Unless you're
premiums,
fucking
you can
literally
buy
stupid.
Better plans, cheaper plans, lower your premiums, deal with unexpected billing, and have your drug prices drop significantly. He keeps talking about it. He hasn't done a thing for anybody on healthcare. Not a thing.
Just when
Very
he
quickly,
says,
then I wanna talk
when
about
he
what's
says
happening on
public
Capitol
option,
Hill.
he's talking about socialized medicine, and when he and healthcare. When he talks about a public option, he's talking about
Lying, bitch.
destroying your Medicare, totally
Wrong.
destroying, and
Cat,
destroying your social
Don't make me
security.
kill you.
And this whole country.
I love
will
you.
come
I
down.
like you a lot.
Bernie Sanders
You're a
tried
good
it
person.
in his state. He
Yes,
tried
I
it
will
in his
come for
state.
you.
His governor was a very liberal governor.
I'm
They
just
wanted to
kidding,
make it work.
but seriously.
It-
Let's
it
hear,
was
let's let Vice President
impossible
Biden
to work.
respond.
It doesn't
Vice
work.
President
He's a
Biden
very
responds.
confused guy. He thinks he's running against somebody else. He's running against Joe Biden. I beat all those other people because I disagreed with them. And the idea that we're in a situation that they're going to.
Is he pretending to have confidence?
This is the guy that the actuary at Medicare said, if in fact, at Social Security, if in fact he continues to withhold his plan to withhold
Thank you.
the tax on Social Security, Social Security will be bankrupt in by
Your mother will be bankrupt.
2023 with
Bitch.
no way to make up for it. This is the guy who's tried to cut Medicare. So no, I don't. I mean, the idea that Donald Trump is lecturing me on Social Security and Medicare.
What good have you done in the past
He
fucking
tried to get
10
rid of
seconds.
million
He
years?
tried to hurt Social Security years ago. Years ago. Go back and look at the records. He tried to hurt Social Security years ago.
All right,
One thing,
let's move
but
on.
this
I'm
is
gonna-
the-
Oh! All right, let's move on,
3
bitch.
seconds.
Fuck you. Can we kill her BLM? Retract. Please don't kick me off.
Stock market will crash.
Okay, let's move
Biggest
on to the
analysts
next
say
question,
The mayor's
very quickly.
Look, the idea that the stock market is booming is his only measure of what's happening. Where I come from in Scranton and Claremont, that people don't live off of the stock market. Just in
Just don't live when you're in charge.
3 years during this crisis, the billionaires in this country
It's just-
made, according to Wall Street, $700 billion more.
Yeah, Bill Gates. You're right, Bill Gates.
$700
You're right.
billion more dollars.
You hired him. That's why.
Because that's his only measure. What
Because you hired Bill Gates.
people out there? What happens to them?
Let's talk about what's happening on.
They get put into elderly care facilities in blue states and they die. In red states, they get opened up and they live.
Come from Scranton. That's like one of he lived there for a short
We're
period of
gonna-
time before he
Okay,
even knew
we're
it.
gonna move on.
And he
Let
lived
Ain't from Scranton, bitch.
me move on to my next question. Thomas. As of tonight, more than 12 million people.
Tell me to stop falling for the bait, man.
And as of tonight,
You've been taking a bait all night.
more
I'm sorry,
Americans
you've been taking a bait all night.
and
You really
more
has been,
families are
hasn't
going hungry every day. Those hit hardest are women and people of color.
Oh, bitch. Because you made it that way.
Fighting over a relief bill.
This is where
Mr.
he's
President,
gonna
why
mess up.
haven't you been able to get them the help they need? 30 seconds.
I mean,
Because Nancy Pelosi doesn't
Very
want to
here.
approve it. I
Yeah.
do.
Well, you're the president.
I do, but I still have to get it.
Who's he-
Unfortunately, that's one of the
who's he
reasons I think we're going
debating,
to take
her?
over the House because
No.
of her. Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to approve anything because she'd love to have some victories on a date called November 3rd. Nancy Pelosi does not want to approve it. We are ready, willing, and able to do something. Don't forget, we've already approved 3 plans, and it's gone through, including the Democrats, in all fairness. This one she doesn't want. It's near the election because she thinks it helps her politically. I think it hurts her politically.
All right, Mr. Vice President,
You know, the Republican leader in the United States Senate said he can't pass it. He will not be able to pass it. He does not have Republican votes. Why isn't he talking to his Republican friends?
Let me follow up with you, Vice
If
President
we made a
Biden,
deal,
because
the
let me
Republicans
ask
would
Vice President Biden a question. You are the leader of the Democratic Party. Why have you not pushed the Democrats to get a deal for the American people?
Oh, I have.
Boom!
Look, they passed this act
You're
all the way back
BLM
at
ass.
the beginning of the summer. This is like it's not new. It's been out there. This HEROES Act has been sitting there. And look at what's happening.
Whose fault is
When
that?
I was in charge of the Recovery Act with $800 billion, I was able to get $145 billion to local communities that have to balance their budgets and states that have to balance
What
their budgets and then
local
have to fire firefighters, teachers, first responders, law enforcement officers, so they can keep their cities and counties running. He will not support that. They have not.
You're a bullshit person. I'm glad you're buffering now, bitch, because I don't even like you. And nobody want to hear what you have to say. We don't care about your lies. We don't care about your fucking bullshit. Can somebody just shoot this motherfucker?
For them.
Retract.
And Mr. McConnell said, let him go bankrupt. Let him go bankrupt. Come on. What's the matter
Where
with
were
you?
you?
Passed in the House was a bailout of badly run,
Oh, you said-
high
Tell me when you were getting drunk, because I'll pass it.
Democrat, all run by Democrats, cities and states. It was a way of getting a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars to these states.
I
It
love
was
when you
also
say
a way of
billions
getting a
and
lot of money
billions and
from
billions
our
and
people's
billions
pockets
and
to
billions.
Dr.
people that come into our country illegally. We were going to take care of everything for them. And what that does, and I'd love to do that, I'd love to help them, but what that does, everybody all over the world will start pouring into our country. We can't do it.
We don't
This
want
was a
that.
way of taking care of them. This was a way of spending on things that had nothing to do with COVID, as per your
No,
question.
not one person.
But it was really a
There's
big
sound.
bailout for badly run Democrat cities and states.
All
By
right,
the
I
way,
want
if
to.
I get elected, I'm running as a proud
But you
Democrat.
won't.
I'm going to be an American president. I don't see red states and blue states. What I see is America.
I see problems. You got
Hey,
to.
folks,
Black state.
every
Oh,
single
it's
state
the
out there finds
Oh,
themselves
it's
in
Antifa.
trouble. They're going to start laying off, whether they're red or blue, cops, firefighters, first responders, because teachers, because they have to balance their budget. And the founders were smart. They allowed the federal government to deficit spend to compensate for the United States of America.
I want to talk about the minimum wage, gentlemen. Mr. Vice President.
Oh, you thought he was
we are
doing like a
talking
point
lot
there,
about
but it like
struggling
got cut off.
businesses and business owners.
Oh, you almost had it,
Do
Joe.
you think this is
Sorry.
the right time to ask them to raise the minimum wage? You, of course, support a $15 federal minimum
I
wage.
do, because I think one of the things we're going to have to do is
Well-
we're going to have to bail them out too. We should be bailing them
How you gonna bail them out with $15 an hour?
Small businesses. You got 1 in 6 of them going.
That hurts them, you idiot.
How are you gonna
They
get
passed a package.
You literally just now are backtracking on what you just said.
Money is supposed to go to help them do everything from organize how they can deal with their businesses being open safely. Schools, how they can make classrooms smaller, how they can hire more teachers, how they can put ventilation systems in. They need the help. The businesses
What does
as
that have
well
to do
as
with-
the schools need the help.
Minimum
But
wage.
these guys will not help.
What's this have to do with minimum wage, bitch?
We are going to move on to immigration.
Oh.
But I want to
Oh.
react.
You keep giving him fucking bitch.
Raising the minimum wage.
If you are on the left and you're watching this, it's
It should be a
clear.
state option.
You can't be like
Alabama,
nobody can be confident watching this.
New York is different from
She's not
Vermont.
even letting.
Every state is different. It should be a state option.
You said very
We have to
nicely.
help. It's very important. We have to help our small businesses.
You
How
said-
are you helping your small businesses when you're forcing wages? What's going to happen, and what's been proven to happen, is when you do that, these small
Biden, I know, right? Because
businesses
Biden's like on top of shit.
their
You
employees.
said very recently you would consider raising the federal minimum wage to $15
Mikey,
an hour. You said
got you,
recently
hold on.
you would consider raising the federal minimum wage to
What I
$15 an hour.
really
Is that
like,
still the case?
And I would consider it to an extent, but
In a
what I
second
really like,
administration?
in a second administration, but not to a level
In a
that's
second,
going to
bitch.
put all these businesses out of business. It should
Why
be a
is she
state
picking
option.
sides?
Look, I lived in different places. I
We knew
know
that.
different places. They're
Yeah.
all different.
She's so anti-Trump.
Some places, $15 is not so bad. In other places, other states, $15 would
Okay,
be
President Trump,
ruinous.
thank you. Quick
no
response,
one
Vice President Biden.
2 jobs, 1 job, be below poverty.
0 job.
People are making $6, $7, $8 an hour. These first responders.
$6 an hour where? Not one place in America is $6 an hour.
Because they've allowed us to make.
The only place I was just there was
What's
Wyoming. It's only fucking
They
$8, but that's
deserve a
Wyoming.
minimum wage of $15. Anything
$6
below
is not an
that
option
is
anywhere.
below the
Nowhere in
poverty
America.
level.
He
And
literally
there's
just lied.
no evidence
You
that
lied!
raise the minimum wage, businesses go out of business. That is simply not true.
We're going to talk about immigration. We're going to talk about immigration now, gentlemen. And we're going to
Piece
talk
of
about
shit.
families within this context. Mr. President, your administration separated children from their parents at the
Because
rate of
Obama's fucking told him to,
4,000
bitch.
kids. You've since reversed your zero tolerance policy, but the United States can't locate the parents of more than 500 children.
That's their fault. That ain't their fault.
That's not their fault.
Children are brought here
Thank you.
by coyotes
Thank
and
you.
lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here, and they used to use them to get into our country.
We don't
now
care.
have
We don't
as
care.
strong a
We don't
border as we've ever had. We're over 400 miles of brand new
How
wall.
come they didn't
You
care
see the
about their
numbers,
kids
and we
when
let
they were
people in,
sent
but they
for
have to
Which by now we're only supposed to have 250.
How will you
But we have
reevaluate
400.
with that
Just saying.
family, Mr. President?
Remember that.
Cages, you know, they used to say,
She's a
"Open the
fucking
cages."
dumbass who left this
And then they
bitch.
had a picture in a certain
You got a kid bringing across
newspaper.
the border, you don't
There was a
care if they're
picture of these
yours or not.
horrible cages, and they said, "Look at these cages." President Trump built
Mikey,
them,
yeah.
and then it was determined they were built in 2014. That
By
was him.
Obama.
Do you have
They
a
built
plan to
cages.
reunite the kids?
Yes, we're working on it.
Yeah, the
very
federal
quick.
minimum wage
We're
is
trying-
$7.25. So no matter what, nobody makes $6. Like I said, he lied. He straight up lied to all of us.
He just corrected her and said.
Very hard, but a lot of these kids.
But the
come
federal
from
minimum wage is
parents, they come
$7.25. So
over
lowest it
through
could be anywhere in
cartels
America is
and through
$7.25.
coyotes and through gangs.
He said people are making
Vice
6
President,
and
let me
7 and
relate
8.
to this
Bitch,
conversation.
liar.
Quick response and then another question to you.
These 500 plus kids came with parents.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't, bitch!
Lie.
No, they didn't!
No, women were having their kids stolen off the street.
No, they stole them, bitch, but they were paying men to take their children because they were so desperate for money. Because we found that out because in San Diego, the kid came through 6 times, 6 different dads. So then we found out that the kid was not coming with his parents, coming with the coyote, bitch. You are a liar. You are a liar. If you care about people at the border, you at least mention that. You don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. You just want to win. Fuck you. You didn't even mention that. Those are the families that are actually hurting because their children are lost. Talk about people that are really in need, bitch.
Who built the cages?
Let's
Joe?
talk about what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
who built the cages?
Who built the cages, Joe? You did, bitch.
Their kids were ripped from their arms.
If Obama did it, he did it.
From their arms.
And now they cannot find over 500 sets
Your
of
fault.
those parents.
Your fault, bitch.
Alone.
That's your fault.
What was the Flores
Nowhere to
agreement?
go.
It's your
It's
fault.
criminal.
So they
It's
shouldn't have been
Let me
illegal.
ask you
Kristen, I will
about
say
it.
this. They
10
went down,
seconds,
we
and
brought
then I
reports.
got
Let him respond, you bitch.
They are so well taken care of. They're in facilities that were so clean.
They were playing Zumba last time I checked, bitch. I have a video of them playing Zumba.
Who built the cages? I'd love you to ask them that. Who built the cages?
Let me ask about your immigration policy, Mr. Vice President.
You.
The Obama administration did
You.
fail to deliver immigration.
You don't think that's
which had
important?
been a key promise.
You don't think it's important that he built cages,
Also
bitch?
presided
But
over
if Trump built cages, what would you be saying now?
detentions at the border before changing course. So why should voters trust you with an immigration bill?
Why should we trust you with your fucking moderate bitch ass fucking self?
It took too long to get it right. Too
Bye.
long to get it right. I'll be president of the United States, not vice president of the United States. And the fact is, I've made it very
Blaming
clear,
Obama?
within 100 days, I'm going to send to the United States Congress
Uh-huh.
a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people.
Even more reason not to vote for you, bitch.
They don't even need
With-
it.
You just lost everybody, bitch. You just lost everybody. We don't want that. We don't want that.
Certified again to be able to stay in this country and put on a path to citizenship.
None of us want that,
The
bitch.
idea
They're already
that
there, you
they are-
Yeah.
Dumbass, you idiot. Like,
that.
you made the people you gave $500 to happy, but not us, bitch.
I can imagine you're 5 years old, your parents are taking you across the Rio Grande River, and it's illegal. And you say, "Oh no, Mom, leave me here. I'm not going to go with you." They've been here. Many of them are model citizens. Over 20,000 are first responders out there taking care of people during this.
Where'd you come up with that
crisis.
number?
We owe them. We owe them.
We owe them.
We don't owe them
He
nothing,
had
bitch.
8 years to do what he said he was going to do. And I've changed without
Yes,
having a
7 years for-
specific. We got rid of catch and release. We got rid of a lot of horrible things that they put in and that they lived with. But he had 8 years he was vice president. He did nothing except build cages
Oh,
to keep
snap.
children in.
Vice
I
President,
mean-
your response.
The catch and release. You know what he's talking about there?
Your
If
mother.
in fact you had a family came across and they were arrested, they in fact were given a date to show up for their hearing.
And they weren't.
They were released. And guess what? They showed up.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. There's 0.8% of show up, you liar.
He just
Liar.
said that they couldn't find the
Seeking
parents.
asylum.
So now they
Has to do it in
So now they can find the parents?
That's never happened before in America. That's never happened.
Yeah, you're right. It never happened before because it's not real. I'm so happy it paused right now, bitch. Because that's a lie. It was only 0.8% people showed back up at court, and that's it. That's why we had the problem that was going on in Arizona, in Texas, and in California. They claim not to have a problem because we care about them and we think that they should be here. Apparently,
Seek asylum based on the following
lies. You can't get caught illegally coming here illegally, and then when you get caught, say, "Oh, I'm seeking asylum." It's not the way it works. You have to seek asylum at the port of entry. You fucking dumbass. Bitch, 0.8%. Bitch, just put me on that stage.
Understanding of immigration of the laws. Catch and release
He's
is a
lying.
disaster.
He
A
lied.
murderer would come in. A rapist would come in.
The problem is simply
a
one
very
thing:
bad
they're not
person
showing
would
up
come
to the
in.
court dates.
We would
That's
take
it.
their name. We have to release them into our country.
And expect them to
And
come
then
back.
you say they come back.
Lies.
Less than 1% of the
Yeah.
people come back. We have to send ICE out and Border Patrol out to find
I heard
them.
8%, but I
We
mean,
would say,
I,
come back in 2 years, 3 years. We're going to give you a court case. You did Perry Mason. We're going to give you a court case.
and when they get caught,
free-
When you say
free-
they come back, they don't come back, Joe.
Yeah.
They never come back. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, they might come back.
Okay, President,
Oh.
let's give Vice President Biden a
That
chance to
wasn't
respond,
good.
and then we're going to move on to the
You
you
next
just
section.
ended your
Vice President
8%.
Biden.
But that's okay. He kept 8%. Like, the good thing is only 8%, or like Trump says 1%. But
All right, let's move
But we don't have to
on
worry
the
about
next
regardless,
section.
it's like 0% of the people
We
that.
want to move on to the next
Yeah,
section.
525 kids not knowing where in God's name they're going to be and lost their parents.
Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about our next section, which is race.
He's talking about those only 25 kids that he
And I
met.
want to talk about the way Black and Brown Americans
Last time he didn't have a plan,
experience
remember?
race in this country.
Last time Joe
Part
Biden
of
had
that
nothing to say.
experience is something called the talk. It happens regardless of class and income. Parents who feel they have no choice but to prepare their children for the chance that they could be targeted, including by the police, for no reason other than the color of their skin. Mr. Vice President, in the next 2 minutes, I want you to speak directly to these families. Do you understand why these parents fear for their children?
You
I
understand.
do.
What's
You
your
know, my
plan?
daughter is a social worker, and
Socialist.
she's written a lot about this. It's a graduate degree from the University of Pennsylvania in social work. And you know,
But your son's a crackhead.
one of the reasons why I ended up working on the east side of Wilmington, Delaware, which is 90% African American, was to learn more about what was going on. What I never had to tell my daughter, if she's pulled over, make sure she puts for a traffic stop, put both hands on top of the wheel
Really?
and don't reach for the glove box because someone may shoot
You
you.
should have told
But
her
a black
that.
parent, no matter how wealthy or how poor they are, has to teach their child when you're walking down the street,
Everybody
Have
knows
a
to
hoodie
get that.
on when you go
Respect
across the
the
street.
cops.
making sure that you in
Respect
fact,
the police, bitch.
get pulled over. Yes, sir. No, sir. Hands on top of the wheel, because you are in fact the victim.
Me neither, bitch. I guess
Oh, you're a
it.
victim.
$300,000.
He said you're a victim if you're black.
Somebody's on food stamps. The fact of the matter is, there is institutional racism in America, and we have always said we've never lived up to it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created equal. But guess what?
Oh, you know the thing.
We have never ever lived up to it. We've all constantly been moving the needle further and further to inclusion, not exclusion. This is the first president to come along and says that's the end of that. We're not going to do that anymore. We have to provide for economic
What,
opportunity,
Latinos
better
for Trump?
education, better health care, better
What?
access to schooling, better access.
Oh,
to
then vote red, bitch. School choice. Did you say
All
that?
we need to start
You said better access to schooling?
all the things we can
Remember
do,
that.
and I've laid out a clear plan as
Remember
to
that.
how to do those things.
Remember
just
that.
to give people a shot. It's about accumulating the ability to have wealth as well as it is to be free.
Mikey,
from
anybody with a brain can
violence.
see that, but unfortunately the left can't see that. They
Trump,
believe
same
his stupid
question
fucking
to you,
words
and
and it's
let me remind
stupid.
you
It's
of the
crazy.
question. I would like you to speak directly to these families. Do you understand why these parents fear for their children?
Yes, I do. And again, he's been in government 47 years. He never did a thing except in 1994.
Crime bill.
He did such harm to the black community. And they were called, and he called them super predators. And he said that.
He did.
He said it, super predators. And they kept never lived that down. 1994, your crime bill, the super predators. Nobody has done
The first
more for the
setback
black
literally let
community
those same people
than
out.
Donald Trump. And if you look, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, possible exception, but the exception of Abraham Lincoln, nobody has done what I've done.
Impossible.
Criminal justice reform. Obama
I love his cocky
and
ass. Seriously.
Joe
didn't do it.
Cocky motherfucker.
I don't even think they tried because they had no chance at doing it. They might have wanted to do it, but if you had to see the arms I had to twist to get that done, it was not a pretty picture. And everybody knows it, including some very liberal people that cried in my office. They cried in the Oval Office. 2 weeks later, they're out saying, gee, we have to defeat him. Criminal justice reform, prison reform, opportunity zones with Tim Scott, a great senator from South Carolina. He came in with this incredible idea for
I bet you're not even
zones.
black.
It's one of the most successful programs.
This white girl right now, Texas, Sweet Crockett, said, no, I had a cop point a gun at me because they were looking for a 1996 red Camaro, and I had one.
And then historically black
You're white, though. How?
After 3 years of coming to the office.
The rules are always crying.
They came into the office, and they said, I said, what are you doing? After 3 years, they said, why are
The
you
rules always crying, bitch.
Because we have no funding. I said, you don't have to come back every year. We have to come back because President Obama would never give them long-term funding, and I did. 10-year long-term funding, and I gave them more money than they asked for because they said, I think you need more.
I mean, so they're right now paused again, but that's okay because literally we already know what Trump's done for black people. And if you don't know what Trump's done for black people, you can always look up on the White House website at www.whitehouse.com.
I may never see you again because I got very friendly with them, and they like me and I like them. But I saved colleges and universities.
Okay, and we're going to talk about.
What he was saying was that he saved the black colleges and black universities, which that's a fact. That's what he did. He did donate a lot of money to them recently, and to keep them going, especially during the time of COVID.
The fact of the matter is, in 2000, though, after
2000 though, when he was supporting gay people by then. By the way, Trump was supporting gays by 2000. You weren't.
The problem
go on.
There's not enough people in jail. There's not enough people in jail. And go on my website, get the quote, the date when he said it. Not enough people. He talked about
Trump said that.
Young gangs.
Oh, like, did he just say that?
Are going to maraud our cities. This is a guy who was Central Park 5 innocent black kids. He continued.
They were innocent, bitch. They raped her and fucking. Oh, that makes me so mad. That case alone.
Guilty of what the crimes they were suggested. Look, and talk.
You're advocating for the black people to rape a little white girl.
That 20 people.
Fuck you.
20 people sentences. We committed over 1,000 people sentences. Over 1,000. The very law he's talking about is a law that, in fact, initiated by Barack Obama. And secondly, we're in a situation here where.
So are you saying the crime bill is good?
The federal prison system was.
And you know what I mean? That Barack Obama locked up black men?
Under our
good to know. Good to know.
One of the things we should be doing, there should be no minimum mandatories in the law. That's why I'm offering $20 billion to states to change their state laws to eliminate minimum mandatories and set up drug courts. No one should be going to jail because they have a drug problem. They should be going to rehabilitation, not to jail. We should fundamentally change the system, and that's what I'm going to do.
But your 10 minutes guarantee is only 10 minutes watch.
Why didn't you do that 4 years ago?
7 days.
Why did that?
That's most ever got. Look at.
You keep talking about all these things you're going to do, and you're going to do this, but you were there just.
I wasn't even doing anything. It wasn't me.
You guys did nothing. We did. You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama. Because you did a poor job.
Hate speech. Because we're just playing the sound from this.
Never run.
That's crazy.
I ran because of you. I'm looking at you now. You're a politician. I ran because of you.
All right, Vice President Biden, your response to that, and then I do have some questions for both of you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I hope he does look at me because what's happening here is.
Probably ban off here too.
You know who I am. You know who he is.
I don't think you know who
you know his character. You know my character. You know our reputations for honor and telling the truth. I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. The character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up. Please respond, and then we're going to have follow-up.
If this stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq, if this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. Right. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody.
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of talking about the issue. President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of
Joe brought it up.
I have to respond to that.
Please.
Because look,
Very
there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
This
That's
where you're
exactly what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia.
Gentlemen, I want to stay on the issue of race.
You have to be kidding. Here we
Mr.
go
President?
again with Russia.
We're going to continue on the issue of race. Mr. President, you've described the Black Lives Matter movement as a symbol of hate.
It is.
You've shared a video of a man chanting white power to millions of your supporters. You've said that Black professional athletes exercising their First Amendment rights should be fired. What do you say to Americans who say that kind of language from a president is contributing to a climate of hate and racial strife?
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. I said, that's a horrible thing. And they were marching down the street. Yeah. And that was my first glimpse of Black Lives Matter. I thought it was a terrible thing. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Well, what do you say to Americans?
Oh, implying that homeboy is more
I don't know
racist.
what to say. I got criminal justice reform done and prison reform and opportunity zones. I took care of Black colleges and universities. I don't know what to say. They can say anything. I mean, they can say anything. It makes me sad because I am the least racist person. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark. But I don't care who's in the audience. I'm the least racist person in this room.
Okay, Vice President Biden, let me ask you very quickly, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history. He pours fuel on every
Abraham Lincoln, one of the most racist.
Fire.
You motherfucker, what'd you say?
Started off his campaign coming down the escalator saying he's going to get rid of those Mexican rapists. He's banned Muslims because they're Muslims.
Well, they're fucking horrible people. Those ones, bitch, you got me there. You got me there, bitch. I don't like a Muslim, bitch. I'll beat a Muslim's ass.
Last time we were on stage here, he said, I told him to stand down and stand ready. Come on. This guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
President Trump, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I have a
Well,
follow-up.
you made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said
where
you're
did that-
Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No.
You said
I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the Black community.
And I'm
I
saying
didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the Black
Listen,
community.
Joe.
Now, you have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put
oh God.
Oh, God. Oh. He said, oh, God.
Is that not a big deal to you, Joe? Like that you did the crime bill?
Here
Like,
we go again.
here we go again.
tens of thousands of Black men, mostly in jail.
All right,
You
let me
They
ask
remember
Vice
it
President
because if
Biden
you look
a
at what's
question.
happening with the voting right now,
Let me ask
they
Vice
remember
President
that you
Biden
treated them
about
very, very badly. Just take a look at what's happening out there.
Vice President Biden, let me give you a chance to respond within this context. Crime bills that you supported in the 80s and 90s contributed to the incarceration of tens of thousands of young Black men who had small amounts of drugs in their possession. They are sons, they are brothers, they're fathers, they're uncles, whose families are still to this day, some of them suffering the
Are you
consequences.
having our back, bitch?
So
I don't
speak
get
to
it.
those families. Why should they vote for you?
One of the things is that in the 80s, we passed 100%, all 100 senators voted for it, a bill on drugs and how to deal with drugs. It was a mistake. I've been trying to change it since then, particularly the portion on cocaine. That's why I've been arguing.
Why? Because your son? Because your son? Because your son, bitch? Because your son's on cocaine?
Drug offense.
That's what he was doing, right?
Treatment across
Hey.
That's what we should be spending.
Bitch,
That's why I set up
crackhead
drug
ass.
courts, which are never
Especially
funded.
on cocaine, because my son's on cocaine.
They should not be going to jail for a drug or an alcohol problem. They should be going into
You should
treatment.
not go to
Treatment.
jail with
That's what
judge
we've been
or
trying to
drink
do.
or
That's what I'm going to
alcohol
get done because I think maybe the American people have now seen that in fact it was a mistake to pass those laws.
because of your
They
son.
were not in the crime.
But why didn't he get it done? See, it's all talk, no action with
Yeah,
these
well,
politicians.
well,
Why didn't he get it done? That's what I'm going to do
8
when I
years.
become president. You were vice president along with Obama as your president, your leader, for 8 years. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Now you're saying you're going to get it done because You're all talk and no action,
We
Joe.
got a
Boom.
lot of it
I'll
done.
do
We
it.
released
No
38,000.
Get anything
We got
done.
38,000 prisoners left from
You got nothing done.
38,000 prisoners were released from federal prison. There were over
Why is that a
1,000
good
people
thing?
who were given clemency. In fact, we're the ones that put in the legislation saying we could look at pattern and practice of police departments and what they were doing, how they were conducting.
We also
themselves.
built fucking
I could
cages
go on,
for
but
kids.
we began the process. We lost an election. That's why I'm running to win back that election and change his terrible policy.
I
With
just
response,
asked,
and then we're
I
gonna
just
move
asked
on
one
to climate
question.
change.
Why didn't you do it in the 8 years? A short
Ah.
time ago? Why didn't you do it? You just said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. You put tens of thousands of mostly black young men in prison. Now you're saying you're going to undo that. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years with Obama. You know why, Joe? Because you're all talk
Because
and no action.
All right, Vice
Amen.
President Biden, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
We had a Republican Congress.
well, you
Hmm.
want somebody else.
It's answer.
Well, you
Okay.
got to talk them into it, yeah.
All right.
Sometimes you got to talk them into it.
We're going to move on to our next section,
Like I
which
did
is
with criminal
climate
justice
change.
reform.
Boom!
Democrats into it.
Gentlemen, we're running out of time, so we got to get on to climate change, please. You both have very different visions on climate change. President Trump, you say that environmental regulations have
Actually
hurt
going
jobs
for a
in the energy sector. Vice President Biden, you have
They're
said
finishing
you
up
see
right now.
addressing climate
Those in
change
the last one.
as an opportunity to create new
Right.
jobs.
Is
For
it-
each
there's
of you,
only like
how would you
6
both
categories?
combat climate change and support job growth at the same
Should be the last
time?
one.
Starting
Sorry,
with you,
7:30.
President Trump, you have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
So
This was an hour
we
to
have
hour
the
and a half.
Trillion Trees program. We have so many different programs. I do love the environment, but what I want is the cleanest, crystal clear water, the cleanest air. We have the best, lowest number in carbon emissions, which is a big standard that I notice Obama goes with all the time. Not Joe. I haven't heard Joe use the term because I'm not sure he knows what it represents or means, but I have heard Obama.
Boom!
And we have the best carbon emission numbers that we've had in 35 years under this administration. We are working so well with
Watch Joe.
industry, but
Joe's going to
here's
try
what
to
we
take
did.
responsibility for that. He's like,
Look at
35 years ago, I was
China,
in.
how filthy it is. Look at Russia. Look at India. It's filthy. The air is filthy. The Paris Accord, I took us out because we were going to
Yep.
have to spend trillions of dollars and we were treated very unfairly. When they put us in there, they did us a great disservice. They were going to take away our businesses. I will not sacrifice tens of millions of jobs, thousands and thousands of companies because of the Paris Accord. It was so unfair. China doesn't kick in until
China.
2030. Russia goes back to a low standard, and we kicked in right away. It would have destroyed our businesses. So
You're not drunk yet?
we have done an
It's a
incredible
little-
job
little bit.
environmentally. We have the cleanest air, the cleanest
Me too.
water,
Might as
and the
well be
best
trying to eat a lot.
carbon emission standards that we've seen in many, many years.
Vice
And
President
we
Biden.
haven't destroyed our industries.
Vice President Biden, 2 minutes to you, uninterrupted.
Climate change, climate warming, global warming is an existential
Climate
threat to
warming?
humanity. We have a moral obligation.
That's what
To
makes
do it.
kids screw up.
And we're told by all the
You
leading
know what you're talking
scientists in
about,
the
bitch.
world, we don't have much time. We're going to pass the point of no return within the next 8 to 10 years.
Oh, no.
The former years of this man, eliminating all the regulations that were put in by us
So you're saying if Trump is in office, we'll still have time to
to clean
recover?
up, to
Cool.
limit
Thanks.
limit of emissions, will put us in a position where we're going to be in real trouble.
In 8 to
Here's
10
where
years?
we have a great opportunity. I
Trump's
was
gonna be
able
in
to
4
get
more.
both all the environmental organizations as well as labor, people worried about jobs, to
What's your job?
support my climate plan. Because what it
Yeah.
does, it will create
Many-
millions of
Right.
new, good-paying jobs.
I like living more
We're going to
anyways.
invest in, for example, 50,000 charging stations on our highways so that we can own the electric car market in the future. In the meantime, China is
They want
doing
only
it.
electric.
We're going to be in a position
China.
where we're going to see
To build the batteries,
that
it costs
we're gonna
fuel.
take 4 million existing buildings
Inexpensive.
buildings and 2 million existing homes and retrofit them so they don't leak as much energy.
This is the part where he says he doesn't support the Green New Deal after he says all the things for the Green New Deal.
And creating significant number of jobs. And by the way, the whole idea of
How is that gonna
what
give us
this is
jobs?
all going to do, it's going to create millions of jobs.
How?
And it's going to clean the environment. Our health and our jobs are at stake. That's what's happening. And what right now, by the way, Wall Street firms indicated that my plan will in fact create 18.6 million jobs, 7 million more than his. This is from Wall Street, and I'll create $1 trillion more in economic growth than his proposal does. Not on climate, just on the economy.
Why didn't you do 8 years ago?
Today,
You had 43 years,
and
bitch.
said
48
very
years.
strongly, $6,500 will be taken away from families under his plan. That his plan is an economic disaster. If you look at what he wants to do, if you look at his plan, his environmental plan, you know who developed it? AOC +3.
AOC and the Muslims.
I mean, she's
That's
got
some
a
hate
good line
speech
of
there
stuff,
for you.
but she knows nothing about the climate.
I hate those
and
bitches.
They're all hopping through hoops.
Yes, because they're
AOC
Muslim.
+3.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what.
Their real plan costs $100 trillion.
26 times though? I didn't say
If
26.
we had the best year in the history of our country for 100 years, we would not even come close to a number like that. When he says buildings, they want to take buildings down because they want to make bigger windows into smaller windows. As far as they're concerned, if you had no window, it would be a lovely thing. This is the craziest plan that anybody has ever seen. And this wasn't done by smart people. This wasn't done by anybody. Frankly, I don't even know how it could be good politically. They want to spend $100 trillion. That's their real number. He's trying to say it was 6. It's $100 trillion. They want to knock
Why
down
is she
buildings and
laughing?
build new buildings with little,
Because she's dumb.
tiny, small windows. I mean, and many other things.
Okay.
And many other things.
Let me have the Vice President
It
respond,
is
and we're running out of
crazy.
time, and we have a lot
And
more
you'll
questions to
destroy
get
our
to.
country.
So let's hear from the Vice President. I have a number more
I
questions.
don't know where he comes from.
You support gay marriage?
No, $100 trillion. Give me a break. This plan was endorsed by every major environmental group and every labor group. Labor, because they know the future lies. The future lies in us being able to breathe, and they know they're good jobs and
Future
getting us
lies.
there.
You lie,
And by
bitch.
the way, the fastest growing industry in America is the electric, solar energy and wind. He thinks wind causes cancer. Windmills. It's the fastest growing
Never said that,
job,
bitch.
and they pay good prevailing wages, $45-50 an hour. We can grow and we can be cleaner if we go the route I'm proposing.
President
Excuse
Trump,
me.
please
We are
respond, and then I have some
We are
follow-up.
energy.
We don't care about this bitch. Okay, first of all, Trump never said that. Second of all, he's just fucking stupid. Like, I wish I could say something better than that, but he's honestly just stupid.
Independent for the first time. We don't need all of these countries that we had to fight war over because we needed their energy. We are energy independent. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive, kills all the birds. It's very intermittent. It's got a lot of problems, and they happen to make the windmills in both Germany and China. And the fumes coming up, if you're a believer in carbon emission, the fumes coming up to make these massive windmills is more than anything that we're talking about with natural gas, which is very clean. One other thing.
Find me a
Solar.
scientist in that.
I love solar, but solar doesn't quite have it yet. It's not powerful yet to really run our big, beautiful factories that we need to compete with the world. So it's all a pipe dream. But you know what we'll do? We're going to have the greatest economy in the world. But if you want to kill the economy, get rid of your oil industry. You want, and what about fracking?
All right, let me
That we have to ask
let me
about
allow
fracking.
Vice President Biden to
I
respond.
never said I oppose fracking.
Yes, you did.
He did say.
Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website. The fact of the matter is, he's flat lying.
Would you rule out banning fracking?
I do rule out banning fracking because the answer we need other industries to transition to get to almost
You lost it, bitch!
complete zero emissions by 2025. What I will do with fracking over time
Is what?
make sure that we can capture the emissions from the fracking, capture the emissions from gas. We can do that,
You're
and we
full
can
of
do
gas.
that by investing money and doing it. It's a transition to that.
I have one more question in this part, and then
Excuse
we
me,
have.
he was against fracking. He said it. I will show that to you
Right now,
tomorrow.
well, I got kicked off.
I
Right
am
now,
against
I don't know.
fracking. Until he got the nomination,
Just 5
went
minutes
to
frozen.
Pennsylvania, then
It's
he
been
said,
frozen
but
all
you know
like
what,
all night.
Pennsylvania, he'll be against it
So
very
come on, I
soon.
feel like this
His
is
party
just, they only
is
tells me
voting.
Facebook right here.
Fracking on
There's
federal
Facebook,
land,
on
I said
Facebook,
no
YouTube,
fracking
Periscope,
in
and
no oil on
Facebook.
federal
Let
land.
me ask this
I did.
final question in this section. and then I want to move on to our final.
But they can hear
section.
it all.
President Trump, people of color are
This because
much
it's
more
happening
likely
on.
to
See,
live
it's
near
not just happening
oil
here; it's happening everywhere.
refineries and chemical plants. In Texas, there are families who worry the plants near them are making them sick. Your administration has
Color.
rolled back regulations on these kinds of facilities. Why should these families give you another 4 years in office?
The families that we're talking about are employed heavily, and they're making a lot of money, more money than they've ever made. If you
What is
Yeah,
what
fudge.
color
Doing
have
that
to
shit
do?
on purpose.
This part I don't do, but they have been doing a lot.
look at the kind of numbers that we produce for Hispanic, for Black, for Asian, it's 9 times greater the percentage gain than it was under in 3 years than it was under 8 years of the 2 of them, to put it nicely. 9 times.
What else?
more.
How would you? How else would you
Now,
put that? Like,
somebody lives, I have not heard the numbers or the statistics that you're saying, but they're making a tremendous amount of money economically. We saved it, and I saved it again a number of months ago when oil was crashing because of the pandemic. We saved it. We got, say what you want about relationship, we got Saudi
mostly near
Arabia,
the weed pipeline.
Mexico, and Russia to
Sorry.
cut back, way back. We saved our oil industry, and now it's very vibrant again.
All
And
right.
everybody has very inexpensive gasoline. Remember
Vice
that.
President Biden, your response, and then we're going to have a final question for both of you.
Thank God.
My response is that those people live on what they call fence lines. He doesn't understand this. They
What,
live
red lines? Are they like red lines like you put them?
plants that in fact pollute,
White lines?
chemical plants and oil plants and refineries that pollute. I used to live
Yeah,
near that
white
when I was
lines,
growing up in
you said.
Claymont, Delaware. And all the more oil refineries.
I just wanna hear about your
there
son being a
is
crackhead.
Than there is any place, including in Houston at the time. When my mom get in the car and when our first frost to drive me to school, turn in the windshield wiper, there'd be oil slick in the window. That's why so many people in my state were dying and getting cancer. The fact is, those frontline communities, it doesn't matter what you're paying them, it matters how you keep them safe. What do? And you impose restrictions on the pollutions the pollutants coming out of those fence line communities.
Okay, I have one
Communities.
final
Would he
question.
close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close
It
down the
falls-
By
oil
the way, I
industry?
would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's a big
transition.
shit.
It is a big statement
That's a-
because I would stop
Why would you do that?
because the oil industry pollutes
Why would you do that?
significantly. Here's the
You
deal.
hear that?
That's a big statement.
Why would you do
Well,
that?
if you let me finish the statement, because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time, and I'd stop giving to the oil industry. I'd stop giving them federal subsidies. You won't give federal subsidies to the gas, excuse me, to solar and wind.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to oil industry?
We actually do
All
give it
right.
to solar and wind.
We
And
have
that's
one
maybe the
final
biggest
question.
statement in terms of business. That's the biggest statement.
Okay,
Because
we have
basically
one
what he's saying
final
is he is
question,
going
Mr.
to
President.
destroy the oil industry. Will you remember that, Texas? Will you
Okay.
remember that, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma?
Vice President Biden, let me give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I have to get to the final question. Vice President Biden.
It takes everything out of context, but the point is,
Oh,
No.
he does.
This is what she needs.
Bitch, you take everything out of context. You who the fuck you are? You're Joe Biden.
by the year 2035 is an energy production by 2050 total.
All right, one
Is he
final
gonna get
question
China
for
to
both
do
of
it?
you. No, we're finished with
Is
this.
he
We have
going
to
to get
move on
China
to
to
our
do it?
final question. We have to
I'm
move
going
on
to
to our
rejoin
final
Paris
question.
Twice.
to make China abide by
3 times.
what they agreed to.
All right,
Yeah, I'll do
this
it
is about leadership, gentlemen. And this first question does go to
Oh, we more.
President
Oh,
Trump.
no, we don't.
Imagine this is your inauguration day. What will you say in your address to Americans who did not vote for you? You'll each have one.
Sorry, bitch. You're stuck with me now. Ah, that's what I'd say.
Totally successful as it was prior to the plague coming in from China. Now we're
China.
rebuilding it, and we're doing record
There's still a little
numbers,
left.
11.4 million jobs in a short period of time, etc. But I will tell you, go back. Before the plague came in, just before, I was getting calls from people that were not normally people that would call me. They wanted to get together. We had the best Black unemployment numbers in the history of our country. Hispanic, women, Asian, people with diplomas, with no diplomas, MIT graduates, #1 in the class. Everybody had the best numbers. And you know what? The other side wanted to get together. They wanted to unify. Success is going to bring us together. We
Tell
are
me if
on
you
the
can read
road
it.
to
I have a really
success.
sloppy writing.
But I'm cutting taxes, and he wants to raise everybody's tax.
Oh, we already knew that though. We already know. He wants to raise everybody's taxes. He wants to fucking kill everybody. I know. He wants to make everybody on the left.
Water? Okay.
Oh, what? Both his water?
China water.
and he wants to put new regulations on everything. He will kill it.
Your pizza
If
left?
he gets in, you will have a depression the likes of which you've
Come on.
never seen.
I'm
Your
starving.
401ks will go to
You want
hell,
another piece?
and it'll be a
I'm good.
very, very
Sure.
sad day for this country.
All right.
On their
Vice President
lives,
Biden, same question to you. What will you say during your inaugural address to Americans who did not come?
Oh yeah.
I will say,
Oh yeah.
I'm an American president. I represent all of you, whether you voted for me or against me. And I'm going to make sure that you're represented. I'm going to give you hope. We're going to move. We're going to choose science over fiction. We're going to choose hope over fear. We're going to choose to move forward because we have
Wait, you're gonna
enormous
choose hope over
opportunities,
fear? But you're gonna choose science over
enormous
fiction?
opportunities to make things better. We can grow this economy. We can deal with the systemic racism. And at the same time, we can make sure that our economy is being run.
Nothing
and
changed,
moved
still
and
broken
motivated
promises.
by clean energy, creating millions of new jobs.
Green New Deal. He doesn't support it.
That's what we're going to do. I'm going to say, as I said at the beginning, what is on the ballot here is the character of this country. Decency, honor, respect, treating people with dignity. making
Really?
sure that
As you
everyone
talk
has
shit about
a
Trump
chance.
daily.
And I'm going to make sure you get that. You haven't
Oh.
been getting it the last 4 years.
All right.
We didn't have it
I
the
wanna
last
thank
8 years.
You both for a very robust hour and a half, a fantastic
Did Trump get to
debate.
say something?
Really appreciate it. President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden. Thank you to Belmont University for hosting us tonight. And most importantly, thank you to those watching tonight. Election Day is November 3rd. Don't forget to vote. Thank you, everyone, and have a great
Can we go to
night.
the when's the early vote?
Whatever, it's happening now.
Oh, that's
Me too. I have mine right over here on my desk. Bye. Watch the speed back up. Hi guys. Okay, so that was that. Today's this is Alejandro. So I want you guys to know that this debate wasn't as eventful as last debate. Did you think it was really eventful?
not so much.
This one wasn't as entertaining, but like I think it was really telling what Biden's been saying, which is a lot of gibberish, a lot of bullshit. How he doesn't support the Green New Deal, but he's just like outlined the whole entire thing in front of you. And also Trump, stop responding so much. You don't have to respond every time they insult you. We get it. They hate you. We already know that. I want to hear more about Biden. I'm a little sad that we didn't hear more about Biden's son, about Burisma, and about the laptop. I'm happy that Trump brought it up when he brought it up, but I think that he should have kind of ran with it. But instead, they kept taking it back to being about his taxes, and he kind of fell for the bait. Do you think he fell for the bait? I think it was very like.
To explain himself a lot.
Yeah, like you don't have to do all that. We get it. They hate you, homie. They don't like you. Like we want to hear more about how you stick up for us, which you did a lot of, which is nice. But at the same time, we want to hear more of that. Like make it all about that. Fuck what they have to say about you. We already know what they have to say about you. It's all lies. We get it. We know it's bullshit. Even the leftists who believe it, let them hear it from their mouths like they always do. But we want to hear more about what you're doing for the American people, so that even the leftists can hear that. I mean, I think you did a lot of explaining yourself, which you didn't have to do, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. And he did stick up for American people a lot, which is nice. But I mean, at the same time, I don't think we should cut anybody slack on this aspect because elections are 2 weeks away. So I think that it's not the time to slip. And Trump, I think you kind of slipped a little bit, but not the whole time, just a little bit. But you did slip a little bit, bitch. Just saying, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. You have no idea. I have most of my followers are all on the right. So sorry, guys. I call it as I see it. But Trump didn't have to explain himself so much. So let's see what you guys have to say. So let me know what you guys think right now in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about the that debate, and if you guys were entertained the whole time. Was it hard to keep your focus? I keep saying these things because it was hard for me to keep my focus. It was hard to like watch the whole thing because it was kind of like not as entertaining. But other than the entertaining part of it, like I think that a lot more could have been said. Personally, I'm a little sad that some things that wanted to be said wasn't said. Kind of like Trump's guests he had in the crowd. I don't know. There's a whole article about his guests. I figured maybe we could talk about that. But also the laptop got brought up once, which is nice, but then it got shut down real quickly. And Trump, for the first time ever, I would say Trump, I think, let them shut him down. But maybe he's tired. Who knows? The election's coming up in a couple of days. Either way, he's going to win, so it doesn't matter. So, I mean, but Biden, Trump actually, for the first time ever, I would say kind of a good fight for leftists. Like the leftist idiots who believe that kind of stuff, they'll believe what he's had to say, unfortunately. But he still said things that we all know is faulty because we actually pay attention. But for the ones who don't pay attention, he sounded like he knew what he was talking about. So I think that this time Biden kind of had a good comeback compared to last time. Last time Biden kind of got eaten up. This time I think he had a good comeback. Don't hate me. But it's really how I feel about it, like, in the realness of the situation. But I mean, at the end of the day, he still was still Biden and Trump was still Trump, and we still could see clearly who we should vote for. And I still think that it's very obvious that that's Trump. Even if you are on the left, I think it's very obvious that it's time to start thinking about what party you stand for, because there are some points here that need to be talked about that were made, like how he's been in office for over 40-something years and he still has got nothing done. How he signed the crime bill, which literally was putting people in that Trump just got out during his First Step Act, the people in jail, the predominantly black men. I think it's really telling when he was the president for the last 8 years and they weren't really passing anything when it comes to racial equality or racial discrimination. But now all of a sudden there's so much of it. I think it's really telling to me that he also advocates for states that are blue, that are crime-ridden, and that are rioting and stuff right now. He tries to say, oh, we're not going to talk about state colors. I think it is very telling when you have mainly all blue states. For instance, for coronavirus as of April 1st, we had 4,444. That's the only reason why I remember that, because it's all fours across the board. 4,444 deaths as of April 1st of coronavirus in blue states. And all the red states put together, there was only 444. That's why there was a special day, because it was all fours across the board. But that's telling when you have 4,444 compared to 444. Now, these states are not divided halfway through the country like blue over here and red over here. They're divided as in towards some are blue and some are red, and they're scattered throughout the whole entire nation. That being said, it is notable to note why is it only blue states that's having the COVID deaths. So, yes, it's important to note these things. So when Trump try to note them and Biden try to skate around it by saying we shouldn't be noting them, I think it's crap. So like I said, at the end of the day, I find that still very, very telling. And it's also very, very obvious we should still vote for Trump. But you can make your own decision. And even if you do believe things that Biden said, remember who was the president the past 8 years before Trump. Remember who was the president for the past 40-something years. Remember who signed the crime bill. Remember who inflicted red zones, or what we call, the red lines, which are also known as red zones, where it kept black people in neighborhoods, certain neighborhoods based on their zip code. Remember, he also said that he wants to open up school choice, which is crazy to me to hear from a Democrat's mouth. So if you're a Democrat, you should probably not vote for him just because he just lied to you. Republicans, we want school choice. I believe the problem with Black America is the fact that they're trapped in these zones based on their zip code, which in turn made them create things like gangs and stuff because they want to protect these zones at all costs, because they are told every day by Democrats that everything outside of your zone is dangerous and scary. So they protect their zones at all costs. They create gangs, and they don't get better educations because no teachers want to go into these zones to teach. So I think that if you want to get black people to expand outside of the things like Compton or south side of Chicago, you want to vote school choice. You want them to be able to expand throughout America like any other kid in America. Some parents that are black may not work near the school in Compton if they live in Compton. A lot of these parents travel out for real jobs. That being said, they should be able to take their kids with them if they want to and drop them off at school. That's better off for the child. So these things are very important. And if you want to talk about Black America, I think it's really telling to me that Joe Biden did mention school choice, because his whole party's against it. And he's been against it his entire time that he's been running for presidency. All 3 times, by the way. He ran for presidency 2 other times before, once in 1995, once in 1988. I think he lost twice. So you know the definition of insanity is, right? I don't have to explain it to you. But just know this much. He's always been against school choice, but all of a sudden he's mentioned something like it on the stage tonight. He even did not say the word school choice, but he mentioned the choice to go to whatever school they want. And either A, he's turning Republican, or B, he's trying to take our talking points and throw it at his people, because we all know either way, he's lying. We all know either way, if he gets in office, those black kids will have to stay in those schools based on their zip code, just like you and me. He would also cut off access to charter schools as well, and cut off federal funding to charter schools, which would put a lot of people into public school systems that are not working for the country. So vote based on what you guys think, but this was the very last debate. I'm kind of sad about the way it ended up, to be honest with you, but it was still played safe. It was a clean fight. It wasn't one we would all hoped for, we all want, or that we all crave. Because, bitch, we're craving that shit. We're done. Like, we're done fucking with you. You're on left. We're done with you. You, bitch. You. So I wanted him to come for Hunter 100%. I wanted him to come for Hunter. I wanted him to bring up the laptop. I wanted him to bring up the guy who had the laptop. I wanted him to bring up the fact that his guest tonight was sitting in the crowd, who was actually a business partner of Biden's, both Biden's, Hunter and Joe, when they were doing their works with Burisma and the Ukraine, and all the way to China and their deals with them as well. So I was hoping that he'd bring up some of that, but they didn't. So I'm a little sad about that. But at the end of the day, they played a clean fight. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't too dirty or too boring. It was really clean. The election's coming up, guys. It's up to us to save America at this point. And it's no more we have no more room for playing around. So just vote accordingly and use your best judgment. But I mean, if you vote for Biden, that's pretty telling of what kind of person you are.
I don't want stumbling, bubbling Biden.
Retract. She didn't mean that, but she meant every word. Anyways, guys, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to be voting for Trump. I hope you guys do too. And if you don't, I don't care about you. And for those of you who think that you're going to still be friends with people after this, I'm sorry to all relationships that will end because of the voting season this year. But this is the first time ever I will ever say I think it's kind of needed. Every year I've always been the ones like, break bread with Democrats. Let's like reach across the aisle. We can all coexist. I'm done. I'm sure you're done too. And I've looked at a lot into history the past year, and looking into history made me realize, no, I'm not willing to share a world stage with that hate, that traumatic craziness of the Democratic Party. So vote accordingly, but sorry to anybody who loses their friends or family this season. And vote Trump 2020. I don't ever wear camouflage because it's very lesbian, but I'll wear it tonight because it's a gift. But thanks, guys. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And like I said in every video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.